Well, welcome one and all to session 4 of A Time to Harvest campaign for Call of Cthulhu. In this campaign, just as a quick recap, we are all students and one professor on an expedition, a field trip for Miskatonic University. And this was set up by Federated Oil and Chemical to search for a strange mineral that was discovered called Pasqualium. Um, and so they are funding this expedition in the hopes that these students will be cheap labor and can go out and maybe find a vein of this or more of this strange material. And then to that end, the school said, well, if we're going to let students go out and basically work for free, we want to get some academic stuff out of here as well. So we're going to send some anthropology students to go and get some folklore from the locals in the small Vermont city of Cobb's Corners. We've been there now. This is the start of the 4th day, and it's been productive, but it has also been tinged with tragedy. When we arrived, we began to undertake these two surveys, one geologic and one anthropologic. And the first survey, we discovered some strange artifacts, some arrowheads and some small bone rings, or larger than a finger ring but smaller than a bracelet, but they were small ring-shaped bits of carved bone. We also discovered some strange footprints or something in the mud while Julian was going after Robert Blaine, the leader of the expedition. And the other group also had some strange occurrences. Many of the tales that the locals had to share were quite bizarre. You get your typical, country folk fare of werewolves and vampires and witches and anything that they can't explain why it's got to be something supernatural. And this is what Jebediah would remind his students, that much of what they say is just based on their limited understanding of either science or the natural world. And so that's the most rational explanation. I think it was Arthur C. Clarke that said that any significantly advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Well, butchered that quote, but you get the idea. So if you don't know what it is, it must be magic. And so that's what a lot of these locals seem to be saying as far as giving us kind of strange tales and stories. Yet there has been a little bit of truth to some of these stories, because just in the last session we encountered something. It started earlier on in the campaign when Marian spotted this small rodent-like creature walking on hind legs, holding a small knife and stalking a hare, and culminated in a trek to the sugar maple forest near the farmhouse where we're staying, where we encountered dozens of these creatures. And then they fled, not before Julian brought one down with his knife, before a huge, squat, lumbering, gelatinous, frog-shaped creature appeared and nearly destroyed Julian. In fact, it left you with a major wound, which will take some time to heal. I think we said it maybe dislocated your shoulder, and so that left arm is out of commission for the time being. And many of us fled in different directions, and Marian and Gerald, you ended up in a small clearing, and you saw a jumble of rocks that seemed to form some sort of gate-like structure. And peering through the opening of this gate, you could see a shimmering film and gaze upon different worlds beyond, the inside of an old corsair ship, or a strange alien landscape with purple stone towers. All sorts of different vistas were open to our view. But worst of all, next to, or part of, the gate was the fused remains, yet living, of a former student that had gone on this same expedition a year ago. And his body was inexplicably fused to the stone. The top of his skull cleaved off, his brain a quivering mass of organic material, as well as bits of looked like small copper wire or tubing or some sort of of technological means to preserve his life. And he was in a state of decomposition, yet also part of his body had become mineral, had become part of the stone. And suffice it to say that Gerald and Marian lost their grip on sanity at that moment. In fact, Gerald, you went indefinitely insane, and you will have underlying insanity until such time as you get a significant break from what has transpired. Marian, you were more fortunate. You've not yet hit that threshold. You had a temporary bout of insanity, which you will have that underlying insanity for the remainder of the day. A good night's sleep, and yours will go away. The same is not true of Gerald. However, you put this young man fused with the stone, John Jeffrey, out of commission with the stone, and then began to fight amongst yourselves. In fact, for a moment it seemed as though Marian was going to destroy Gerald, but in his insane state, he managed to avoid, almost as if she were dancing with him, not trying to stove his forehead in with a large rock. The professor and Arthur had fled in an opposite direction. Poor Arthur has lost his grip on sanity as well, and he is indefinitely insane. Again, a good night's rest will not suffice for Arthur. He needs significant rest or distance from this location, or even hospitalization. When they encountered that beast, Arthur, being the slowest of the group, was left at the mercy of this great lumbering thing. But he had learned something in a book given to him by one of the other students, by Jason Trent. It was the words of a spell. And in that moment, Arthur spoke those words, and a curious black mist arose from all around him, clouding and obscuring his presence from this creature, permitting him to escape. And having now gained a taste for magic, Jason Trent seems intent on teaching you even more. In fact, at the end of the session, you stole a piece of bone from a body that had risen up from the ground after a great rainfall. The students had been excavating that to find out who it might be. The sheriff was called, and before the body could be taken away, Arthur secreted a small piece of bone from that. Because Jason, I believe, said he wanted to perform some sort of seance or ritual to determine who this body might be. It may take weeks for the medical examiners to determine the identity of this, but Jason thinks this could be done relatively quickly. So where we left off, we have returned back to the farmhouse. It's the morning of the 4th day of our field trip, August 19th, 1930. Sheriff Spencer is still there, just finishing up his questions, and he has more questions for the group. The Dr. Perry has been called out, and he tended to wounds, put Julian's arm in a sling, and told everyone to be sure to have something rich in garlic for lunch, and to, if you are of the Christian faith, to carry a cross or a rosary or some such about your person, for whatever purpose you can only surmise. Let's jump into the action. Jebediah, you're kind of the de facto adult in the room. Robert Blaine, he's one of the former students from the last expedition. He's sort of been in charge of the other students, but you are ultimately the chaperone for everyone here. And the sheriff pulls you aside and is rather frank with you. And look, he says, we can't be having no trouble here. Last year, this town was rocked with a scandal when those students went missing. And the way I see it, all of these kids, this is your responsibility. Now, I'm not saying anyone here had anything to do with these bones that we're finding, but this is going to get out. And when people find out that a body was found here where you guys were staying, well, you're going to be run out of town. So I'm just telling you, keep this under wraps, if you know what I mean. And don't, for the love of everything, don't let the local press find out what's going on. You may want to put a stop to that before there's any chance of the press getting a hold of this story. If they do, old Richard Wendell, the reporter, well, freedom of the press being what it is, I can't tell him not to run it. So I leave it up to your judgment, Professor. Now, do you have any questions as far as what to expect with this investigation? We can't have anyone out there in the back part of the yard. You're welcome to stay here in the house, but please keep everyone away from that. It's a crime scene.
Well, no, that seems to make sense. Given the circumstances, I'll make sure to tell the students that we should keep this quiet while you're conducting your investigations, and I'll make sure that everything is known by all the students, yes.
You can give me a roll for this. This is going to fall under your social skills. This can be either a charm roll or maybe a persuade roll, as you try to put the sheriff at ease so that he's not more worried than he needs to be over this. So he looks at you, and he doesn't look like he's buying your story that you're going to be responsible, and if you want to push that, he leans in and says, "Look, I'm not kidding. If there's trouble, you're going to take the fall." And if you want to push that, you can try to calm him down, or you can leave it as a failure. I'll leave it to you.
No, I'll say yes, I understand, of course.
Very good. Now, again, it looks like you guys have been out messing with those bones. Everyone that was involved with that, I need to speak with them separately. So which of these students were out there digging up these bones?
Well, I tried to keep them away from the remains once they were found, but I believe that was mostly the geology students that you would want to talk to.
So he goes over to Marian and Julian, and he takes a brief statement. Name, where you're from, how they can contact you. And then he looks at Marian and says, "Look, doll, we can't have this. What were you thinking going out there digging up this body? Do you know what kind of trouble you've just put yourself into?"
Sorry, did you just say doll?
He did.
Yeah.
Do you retort that back to him?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Give me a intimidate or a fast talk roll.
Ooh, I don't know if she's particularly good at either. Let's see. Intimidate is 15. Fast talk is 14. Wow, it's like both. We'll try intimidate. I feel like she would be more grouchy about it.
Yeah. Ooh, close. About halfway there. He says, "Doll, darling, whatever you prefer."
Marian, that's my name.
Marian, fine. Have it your way. What were you thinking? Going out and putting your fingerprints all over this, disturbing these bones. Any chance we might have had of determining who this was or why they're there? You may have ruined it. Think of the poor family of this person.
Well, you've had a whole year to figure out what happened to my friends and the other students at our university.
Ooh.
And you have.
I'm going to check your intimidate box because that was awesome. You're going to get a chance to develop that at the end of the session, as though you had scored a success on that. He stiffens up, and he looks at you for a few seconds, not blinking, almost daring you to blink. And you hold his gaze. You've had enough of his, small town ways. He can't you know your rights. You know the law here that you've not done anything wrong. You're on this property, and it is what it is. He backs down when you call him out on that, and he seems to take it out on Julian, and he whirls around. And you, young man, what do you have to say for yourself?
Julian is just gonna be like, you think I could dig up anything like with my arm? And then he just points at his like dislocated shoulder. He's like, what are you talking about?
Ooh, give me a fast talk roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, almost.
Whoa.
It was on a 0
Almost.
4. He says, I understand you hurt yourself after you dug up the body. Isn't that right, doctor? And the doctor says, yes. In fact, you can see the dirt on his hands right there. And you look down and you've got dirt all over both hands.
There, when I was fighting the monster.
Yeah, monster. What's... Again, what do you mean by monster?
What do I mean by monster? There's a bloody... You guys got like crazy shit going on in the forest here, man. There was a crab that was attacking me.
A crab was attacking you.
Yeah, it was. You missed the battle of the ages. I was knifing this thing. It had claws. I was fist on claws. I was sticking it into him, and it was just a blob. I think I finished it off though. I turned into water at the end, or slime, whatever that was.
He takes a step back and says, all right, you big city kids. You think that you can come here and run through our town. You think that your shit don't stink. Well, let me tell you. You're on my list, Mr. Mercer. Now, anyone else see this monster? And Robert takes a step forward and says, Sheriff, I saw Julian taking some alcohol from a stash he had up in the hills when he was on that dig. I confronted him, and in fact he took my knife and said he'd kill me if anyone reported him. But now that you're here, I think I can tell you this. He's got illegal liquor here in town. And the sheriff whirls around. Is that so, Mr. Mercer? What do you have to say for yourself?
Julian.
He has the right to remain silent.
Yeah, he has nothing to say. Did Robert say that in front of like all of us, so we all heard everything he did?
Yep, everyone heard it.
I think Marian is just going to be like, come on, do you really think Julian is capable, one, of running an illegal liquor operation, or two, killing you?
Robert says, hey, I don't know. I mean, after what happened here last year,
what did happen here, Robert?
Well, I wasn't here. I broke my arm, and then, the other students here, because I wasn't here to keep them safe. And that's why I'm doing my best to keep everyone safe. And give me a spot hidden roll, Marian.
Ooh, I think she's just really mad because she still vaguely remembers bashing in her friend's head and
It's been a rough morning.
Yeah, she's done with it. Oh man.
You can push that if you want. You look at him and you're fuming looking at Robert, and he's giving you back, his gruff.
Oh my god, even worse.
Even worse.
Okay, well, there it goes.
As you look at him and you talk about this, he deflects it and says, I think maybe Clarissa shouldn't go with you two today. Clarissa, I think for your own safety, I think maybe you should go with the other group. And Clarissa looks at Marian and kind of whispers. Actually, make a listen roll as she leans in and whispers something to see if you hear all of it.
Ooh. Come on, roll. Absolutely not.
Absolutely
No.
not. You hear her say something about. You hear the word. She says, "Don't make," and that's all that you're able to hear. If you want to push that, you might stop her, reach out, touch her arm, and get her to say it again. But you hear "Don't make," and then it's kind of mumbled.
Sure. We'll push it and see. I mean, everyone's watching me anyway, so. Oh
man.
God. Wow.
You reach out and grab her arm, and Robert rushes forward and pushes your hand away and says, No. Keep your hands off of her. See, Sheriff, there's something going on. I think those two are a big part of it. You know how that truck, the bridge that collapsed? I think they might have been drinking. And I think maybe they hit the bridge. And I think that's what happened.
I'm going to talk to the cop, and I'll say that Robert is probably a freaking creature, and I dish out the evidence that I have and of his little weremoose thing that's going on, and then also I give him the coordinates of the drinks that he's been holding, that's been hiding out in the woods. I'm like, you should take a look at this. He's been stashing some alcohol out in the forest.
Give me.
This is how I. Yeah.
Give me a persuade roll.
Okay.
Man.
The sheriff he's taking copious notes, and you can see he does not.
I'm gonna push that. I'm gonna push that anyway for fun. Try it. Oh no.
Says,
always.
So you're admitting you know the location of the alcohol. That seems to fit with Mr. Blaine's story.
Yeah. Definitely. I do know the location of the alcohol because that's where I found him.
And Robert holds up his hands and says, "Are you hearing this, Sheriff? He's admitting guilt."
He said he found it, not that he put it there.
Yeah, found, put. I think we found our problem here, Sheriff.
Oh, good.
And then he gives you both a look, Robert does, of almost one-upmanship, like, I've got you.
Ooh.
And the sheriff says, look, normally we don't get a lot of action in this town. If we've got a violation of the Volstead Act, if I have the resources, we go and find it. I don't condone drinking in my town, but I got a body. I got human remains out there on the lawn. Whatever, if you're drinking, that's just going to have to wait. But let me just remind you the dangers of alcohol. And he goes into like a 5-minute speech about drinking.
I cut him off, and I tell him about like how the bones are probably dead from cancer, from my observation. So maybe that's a story that you want to check into.
Yeah, give me a charm roll as you try to help his investigation.
I'm trying to charm the guy now. Okay.
Yeah. You're trying to maybe, give a little to.
Yeah, sure, I got it.
Give a little to get a little.
Right on the money.
You're like, look, and maybe I can help you out. Check out these bones. I think this person may have died of cancer. And when you say that, you see his face go kind of slack. Like all of the tension and the anger in his face just droops out. Cancer, you say? Why do you say cancer?
Well, I can see it all in the bones. I'm quite proficient in in analyzing the bones, and it's all over that thing.
Well, now I know where her body went. If you'll excuse me, I gotta go talk to that drunk Jimmy. we're not through here. Don't leave town. I'll speak to you again tonight or tomorrow at the latest. Oh, this is a mess. And he puts away his pad, turns. He kind of gives a little curt nod to Jebediah as he leaves the house. And
Well, before he leaves, I want to ask him what are we going to do with the bones? Like, what do you want us to do with the bones, officer?
I want you to do nothing. Leave the bones where they are. Don't touch them. Don't take pictures of them. Pretend they don't exist.
Do you want me to put a tarp over it or something?
He says, yeah, that'd be okay.
All right.
Dr. Perry, will you help them? And the doctor agrees, and he'll go out and help put a tarp over it to keep it out of view and out of sight, out of mind. But then he gets in his car, and as he drives off, you can hear him driving off with enthusiasm. He punches it and flings gravel all over the.
He punches it. Okay.
Jebediah, give me a psychology roll. Oh, just missed it. Do you want to push that?
Yes, I will push that.
As the sheriff leaves, you maybe take some time to watch him leave, walk over to the window and see him drive away, and he's visibly upset. You don't know if it's because maybe he's having a bad day and this is all happening now. You can't quite figure out what it might be unless you know as a player what's going on. Otherwise, I'm not going to give you any reminders or hints. Do you know what might be going on here?
Well,
Who the body is?
My suspicions, but I'm still piecing things together, of course. This was the McLaren house, if I recall correctly.
It is,
so,
yes.
Yes, some things to consider, but nothing right now.
Let's go to Arthur and Gerald and Jason.
Before you do that, can
yes.
I with the tarp, because I was turning over the tarp, can I do a spot hidden on the corpse so that I see if I know if that? Yeah.
Yep, you will need a hard success to see what I think you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's doable. You just need a 36. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Oh.
So you see two things with a hard success. You can see some shoe prints in the mud near this. It looks like quite a few sets. You can see your own shoes there. You can see the smaller prints that Marian left as she was helping with the body. But then you see another set, and it's pushed into the ground a little heavier than the rest. And there's also looks like maybe a knee print or an elbow. Something else was pushed down here. You think someone was maybe kneeling around these bones. And then you see that one of the small phalangeal bones of the right foot, perhaps the small toe, one of those little knuckle bones, has been taken away. It's missing.
Yep, that's what I was looking for. All right.
Let's go to Gerald and Arthur. So, Gerald, you and Arthur are both dealing with indefinite insanity. You're not insane right now, but any little thing can trigger it. So you're probably both a little bit on edge. And having the sheriff come in and talk about, an investigation, and now you know that Robert is lying, trying to frame Julian and Marian about the alcohol. It probably makes you a little uneasy, maybe also glad you're not on their team. Gerald, Terrence, this guy right here, kind of the snooty rich kid, he comes over and says, "So, Gerald, he was saying you guys saw some sort of monster out in the woods. What's he talking about?"
Well, Terrence, I'm not so sure I could describe it very well. monster, I'm not so sure everything's explainable, but it was like nothing I've ever seen.
Wait, you're being serious? You mean you really saw something out there?
It's not a joke, no. There is something.
And he leans in and sniffs. You don't smell like you've been drinking. Did you eat any of that weird meat last night? That was that crab leg that Julian had found in the river.
I can't remember. I don't think so.
See, I don't remember if he did or not. But Terrence would be curious. Did you eat any of that? And you might say, I don't remember. Like, I ate a lot of things.
Long day.
Yeah, long day. He says, well, maybe these stories, we've heard some weird stories from these local yobs. Maybe there's something, maybe it's getting to you. You sure you're okay to go out again today?
Well, I mean, maybe you're right, but I'm certain I was not hallucinating or anything. Well, goodness, maybe you're right, but what would I be? I think it would be worse sitting here alone.
Yeah, give me a persuade roll. Oh, nice. Hard success. I think you're right. Besides, you and me, we gotta remember we're a little better than the rest of these people. These are our colleagues. Well, you and I are a step above, if you know what I mean. And one day they'll be shining my shoes. Well, you and I are out making business deals and things like that. So just remember, we're in charge of this whole thing. You want to team up today?
I think. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you and me and William.
Yeah. I think that would be for the best. We've got a job to do. Yes.
Arthur. Jason pulls you aside and whispers, "Do you have it?"
Oh, yes, I got the bone for you.
We've got just a little bit of time before we're going to break to go our ways. Do you think this is as good a time as any, or should we wait? It won't take long.
Well, what exactly are we doing?
Well, I told you, it was in that book of mine that you were reading. You take the item, the thing that the person once had or was once part of, and there's a sequence of things you say and things you do, and you prepare the room and make sure that the energy's just right, and then, well, you ask, and you are answered, if that makes sense.
Oh, sure, but I think we should wait until later.
Give me an occult roll, Arthur. What he's describing sounds like a seance, but a little bit different. So the seance would be to contact the spirits of the deceased. But what he was originally talking about is psychometry, to touch an item that belonged to someone and determine things about that person. But it sounds like he's maybe combining the two things there. Do you want to push that occult check to try and determine exactly what he's asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the sense that he wants to know who this person was. He doesn't just want to know about them. To do that psychometry, you don't need to set up any sort of special area. You can just hold that bone and just go off the impressions or the feelings that you get. But it sounds like he wants to actually contact the spirit of this person and try to ask them direct questions.
I'll bring that up to him, and I'll ask him, why would we need to contact them? Don't we just want to know who they are?
What better way to know who they are than to speak with them? And besides, if this is that witch, just think what she could teach us. I know that you've now put your foot into a whole new world, Arthur. I can see it. I can see that change on you. You used the words, didn't you?
I did.
And how did it feel?
Well, it felt magical.
Yeah, and did it benefit you?
Yeah, it did. It helped me hide from that monster.
And some of these others, they're not going to believe what you saw, but I believe, Arthur. Oh, I'm a believer for sure. I've seen things too.
You've seen things? Like what?
Well, the other day, when we were out and about getting stories, I was looking out across into the woods, and I saw something. I thought it was a bird, but a big bird, like an eagle or something. But it was like no eagle I've ever seen. It was this strange flesh-colored thing didn't have feathers. Something else. I don't know if anyone else saw it, because not everyone has the sight, but I saw it. I can show you where it was, if you like.
Well, I don't know about that. The last time I came across one of these things, it wanted to hurt me and my friends.
Oh, I think this one wants to hurt you as well.
Oh, and you want me to go see it?
Well, maybe we can bargain with it. You and me, we get picked on by some of the others. And he turns and looks at Terrence. Some of the others think they're better than us because they got more money than we do. But we got something that they don't have. We have knowledge. We have abilities. Things that they can't even comprehend. Maybe we can even the odds a little bit, you and me.
Yeah, you're right.
I have something else I can teach you. It's in the book, but it's written in code. You might have seen it. And you do recall seeing a page in the book that was written in some strange cipher. Now, you're not, or you are familiar with ciphers. And why is that? Why are you familiar with ciphers?
Well, I have my own little kind of code that I've made up for myself.
So when you saw this, you would have known it was some sort of code. Something written in there he didn't want anyone else to just simply glance through and see. It says, you know the page I'm talking about?
Yes, I think I do.
I can teach you. Do you want to learn, Arthur?
Okay, Jason. I do.
Peer pressure strikes again. Let's change the scene. Let's go to Robert Blaine is going to be speaking to everyone after the tarp is put over the body, after the sheriff has left, the doctor has left. Robert Blaine goes up to Jebediah and says, "Well, Professor, we should really get underway. Look, I want to apologize to you, Professor. I think my personal feelings have been holding my group back, the geologic group. I want to go to a different location today. It's a place called Broken Hill, which last year, that's where the group went, and they thought they had found an unusual burial mound. I think we're going to have more success there than what we've been having. And with your permission, I'd like to change the plan and go to this other location. I think it's going to bear more fruit, because I don't know how long we've got in town before the sheriff tells us we got to go.
Well, I myself am no stranger to archaeology. I thought perhaps I might join you and the geology group on one of these expeditions. Perhaps today I'll join you. And,
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yes, if this seems like it would be a good idea. Can I also make a psychology roll to see if he
Yes.
has some other motive?
Yeah, please do. When you first kind of heard what he said, it sounded sincere. Oh, missed it by 6. He's been causing trouble, and you're not unaware of this. You don't know if you believed his story that Julian was stashing alcohol, but it seems like for him to approach you, whereas in the past before, he's basically tried to run the show, but it seems like now he recognizes that maybe he should let you be in charge, Jebediah. And that's kind of the vibe that you get from him, is that he wants to clear it with you. Is this okay with you if we make these changes? You think, had everything that's happened over the last 24 hours not happened, he probably just would have made this change and not told you, or told you after the fact. But it seems like he's actually asking permission, so maybe this is a good thing.
Well, yes, I suppose it might be good for a change of scenery. Arthur, you'll have to go alone with Mr. Trent today, but I assume you two shall do well.
Oh, that's okay, Professor. We're becoming good friends.
Let me show you.
Yes, very good.
I'm just going to show you where he's going to take you. So, days 2 and 3 were spent doing the geologic survey, kind of in that upper right-hand corner. And for day 4, he wants to go down to that area. So, Robert says, well, I think we're just about ready. I just want to have a couple of words with the geology group professor, if that's okay. And
Well, certainly, yes.
he says, all right, everybody, big change today. I want to maximize our time here. I want to take you to the base of Broken Hill. Broken Hill, that's where last year's survey group went. They had reported finding significant things there, that this may be the site of a burial mound, and we could probably find more bodies, and these would hopefully not get us in trouble with the locals. I want to apologize to everyone for my zeal, and perhaps I've been a little bit too enthusiastic with this whole thing, and I want to defer to Professor Baldwin here. I'll let him kind of run the show. I'll just be there to help out and to offer any advice. Again, I'm kind of more familiar with this because I went through this, in preparation for last year, although I didn't come out here. If what we find out there is what I think, Professor, we may want to bring a change of clothes and some camping gear. We may be out there overnight. Once the excavation gets started, I don't want to leave the dig site unattended. If locals hear that we're finding graves out there, they're going to come stealing grave goods. In fact, if Professor Learmonth was here, he would have said the same thing. So I think just take tents, sleeping bags, enough food to get us through into the morning, and then maybe tomorrow afternoon we'll come back here and have our findings. Plus that gets us kind of away from here, and if the sheriff, if they're out nosing around, well, the further away we are, probably the better, so that we're not underfoot. Does that sound okay, everybody? And Jebediah.
If Robert Bang caught Julian's eye, Julian's gonna make like a I'm gonna kill you kind of look with the hand across the neck.
Ooh,
to Robert Bang.
nice.
Well, yes, this sounds fine. Robert, Arthur, you and Gerald try and help each other, and you'll be in charge while I'm gone. If we're gone a few days, I trust you can manage here.
Oh, sure, Professor. You can count on me.
And you hear this strange kind of rushing sound of air, and you turn and look, and it's Jason Trent, and he's panting almost like a dog, like he's excited, like and then you realize it's some sort of strange laugh that he's doing. It's like he's trying not to be loud with a laugh, but he's laughing, and you see him rubbing his hands together like everything's coming together. This is great. And he looks at you and
I'm gonna talk to Jebediah. I'll be like, I want to stay. I'm gonna hold up my sling arm that I just got, relocated. And I'll be like, I think I'm not well and to go on this expedition. I think I'll stay behind with Arthur and Jason over here. Just have a rest.
If you're sure, Julian, I suppose that would be fine, though you may miss out on some exciting new discoveries.
Yeah, that will be unfortunate. But I'm sure we can go out there again in another time to do some more digging.
Marian, how do you feel about Julian leaving your group? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, he has free will. He can do as he wishes. Marian, I think, is just very has very mixed feelings about this whole expedition.
Has anything gone right yet?
Nothing has, and now the fact that they're going to the same place where her friend was last seen before he vanished, So I think Marian's just kind of uneasily sitting with all of this news and digesting it.
Nice. Joe Harlow, the driver, the one that drove the truck to Rice Hill the last 2 days, he shows up, and Blaine says he's going to take one of the cars, and he's going to drive ahead of the truck to show Harlow how to get to the last campsite on Broken Hill where his friends last year had stayed. And the truck will follow, and so we've got let me go back to our thing here. Back to this page. So we're going to have Julian is going to be with the wrong button. Julian is going to be
before they leave, I'm just going to take Marian aside, and I'll be like, when I was putting the tarp over the body that we dug up, I noticed like a little tip of the phalange is missing, and footprints. And given what happened with Arthur trying to steal some bones while we're digging it up, I think there's something going on. So I'm going to do some investigation. And then I'm going to hand her the knife, and I'll be like, you take this to protect yourself against Bane. I think he's a bit of a dodgy character with the whole transformation thing that I'm suspecting he's going to do.
Yeah.
Let me give you a knife.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll give her the knife, and then I'll that's why I'm telling Marian I'm staying behind, so that she gets it. Otherwise, she'll be like, "Oh, why is he?"
Now, Gerald, do you want to stay with this group, or do you want to switch groups?
Ooh, that's tempting, because I feel like Gerald has no idea what to ask or do. I mean, we've already seen something horrifying. What are we asking for? But at the same time, he is not built for geology whatsoever.
Right. But do you think,
Well,
can you handle
Gerald,
going around and talking to people about all the scary stuff that's in the woods nearby?
Your psychological condition's not very well.
Right.
Well, Gerald, if you think that a change of scenery would help you, I know the last few days have been rather difficult. Perhaps you would like to join along on the expedition. We'll be getting some fresh air. Sounds like we'll be staying a few nights at the out at the dig site.
Yeah, I think Gerald kind of looks apologetically at Terrence. Then he's like, "Yeah, I think maybe that might be best. Thank you, Professor."
Harry Higgins, he offers to take your place. Harry Higgins
Oh, my old
is
bud,
this
Harry.
lovely little Irish lad with a huge birthmark on his cheek. And I'm not even going to attempt an Irish accent. It'll sound like the Lucky Charms leprechaun. But they're always after me, Lucky Charms. It's about as close as you'll get for Harry Higgins. But he offers to take Gerald's place in the group. And Jason says, "Oh, this is just as good. This is good."
And yes, everyone, while I'm gone, remember that Arthur's in charge, and Mr. Trent, thank
Guys
you
are all
for finding my
screwed.
lighter.
Arthur's in
Thank you for
Arthur's in charge? I put my hand up to the professor. I'm like, Professor. You just saw me take down a monster. You should put me in charge, okay?
well, yes, Julian, I understand, but of course I don't suspect you shall find any more monsters while I'm gone, so... and I think it'd be best if you had some time to rest, given your state, so... don't worry, I will let Mr. Trent help Arthur. Thank you for finding my lighter the other day, Mr. Trent. By the way, I can't forget that good deed you did for me.
Oh, I can't forget it either. I feel like I know you so well, Professor. In fact...
But don't worry, I'm sure, Julian, that if something goes wrong, that you'll be able to take charge. I trust you to watch over everyone here.
I can handle it, Julian. Don't worry.
I'm sure you can, Arthur. I give him a very suspicious look, and then I look at Jason, and I give him an evil death stare.
He says, "Good. This is even better.
Oh.
This is great. Arthur, you'll remember today for the rest of your life. This is the day. I have seen it. This is the day where something great and terrible will happen to you. Great in that it will change your life, and terrible in that you will not be able to return to the way things were. But do you really want
What? He says it in front of us? He tells all of us that this is going to happen to Arthur?
It'll be great to see you succeed, Arthur.
Well,
Does Julian hear this?
Give me a listen.
Can I do a listen?
Uh-huh.
What? I'm like, what?
well, thank you, Jason, but I sure hope nothing terrible happens to any of us.
Yep, got that.
Yeah, you heard it.
Then I'm like really looking at Jason going, what the fuck?
Well, maybe terrible is the wrong word. I just mean terrible for those that would bully you, Arthur. It'll be a terrible day for them.
Thanks, Jason.
I'm gonna shout this out, actually. Julian's gonna be like, what did you say, Jason? Arthur's gonna change into something awesome? He's gonna change forever? We're all gonna do something crazy today? What's happening? I'm like yelling it out.
I didn't say crazy. I just said that today's going to be a great day. I think this is the day that we find the information, the folklore, the story that's going to do great things for us. I think today's...
Oh, really? Why are you whispering that to Jason then? Why are you only whispering... why are you whispering only to Arthur? You should boost him around and tell all of us.
Well,
I look at him.
He and I we're working together, but yeah, sure. Everyone will take part in it. Yeah, we can definitely. It'll be a group project, a group effort. Yeah, not just Arthur. And then Arthur, you feel someone nudge you, and it's Jason. He's nudging you in the ribs.
Okay, I'll look over at him.
And he looks at you, and give me a listen roll. You hear his voice. He says, "We should speak privately." But you did not see his lips move.
Okay. I'll just assume that he was like mumbling or something.
Yeah, maybe you take your glasses off and clean your glasses. Maybe you just didn't see his
Yeah.
lips move. But you're pretty sure. Maybe he knows ventriloquism. Maybe he's that's a skill of his.
Something
Juggling,
like that.
ventriloquism, magic. It's all the things that he likes to do. But
I do a spot hidden on Jason, just to see if he's carrying something that he shouldn't be carrying, or
Yes.
there's something that he's carrying. Yeah.
His hands are empty. He's got a book, a soft-bound book, paperback book, kind of folded in half and tucked into a pocket, and you can see a couple of pencils in his other pocket. And you've probably seen him with this book. This is the book he's been taking notes on as he goes around and does these surveys. But his hands are
I want to do. Yeah. When if I have the opportunity, I want to do a sleight of hand and try to take that book.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to that shortly. Let's go our separate ways unless there's anything else anyone wants to do at the house. Let's go with the first group. So, as you reach the dig site at Broken Hill, Robert gets everyone set up to work mapping the site, recording grids, removing stones and dirt from the mound, and so on. Let me have Marian, Jebediah, and Gerald. You can give me an archaeology roll.
Cool. Oh boy.
Oh, sweet.
Nope. Yeah, there was no way.
Jebediah got it. If anyone else wants to push those, you can. It's difficult because it's on a slope, and so it's not as easy as on flat ground. Oh, Marian is struggling.
Yeah.
So, Jebediah, you need to maybe take charge. You can see that Marian and Gerald are struggling to get this grid set up. So, can you give them some instruction on the procedure here, what needs to take place?
Oh, well, certainly you'll want to mark out your grid. Make sure you leave ample room for you to excavate the dirt, and of course, be careful where you're walking. Wouldn't want to crush any pot shards or any other things we may be looking for.
Excellent. And Gerald, you've probably not done anything like this before. It's hard work, and it's hot work. This is not like going in someone's house and having a glass of lemonade while you ask them about stories. This is manual labor, sifting through dirt and keeping a precise records about what you are finding. As you do this, you can see that Clarissa continually looks over at Robert. Give me a psychology roll, Gerald. Yeah, she's uneasy. You see, she's giving him. It's not flirtatious looks at all. It's more like she wants to know where he is at all times so that he doesn't get too close. And you've not been out with this group, you've not seen this dynamic before, but you can see it right away that Clarissa is not a friend of Robert Blaine. Do you act on that at all?
I think not getting too close. He probably just try to like wingman, like be in the way of the two of them, you know, in just subtle ways if he can. But otherwise, he's not doing too much.
Yeah. And Marian, you don't even need to make a roll. You're aware of what's going on, and you see the tension there. And Clarissa comes over to you and says, "Do you think this new guy? Do you think he's all right, Gerald?"
Yeah, I mean, he looked at flowers with me the other day.
Oh.
Seemed fine.
Oh. Okay. Do you know why Julian's not here? Did Robert purposely get him out of this group?
No, I mean, I think he's just resting at the house. Robert couldn't keep anyone out if he wanted to.
Well, he did have that knife.
Yeah, but I don't think he actually was trying to kill Robert with it.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. I feel a little better about myself. Hey, what do you think? What do you think this is? And she holds up a small polished piece of crystal. Looks like maybe a bead, and little pieces of silver. And she holds it up. These are sparkly. Are these? This isn't natural. Look at this. And she holds it out to you, Marian, to show you. And as you look, you can make a metallurgy roll on the silver.
Let's see if her skill will actually come in handy now.
Yeah.
Or if I'll just roll terribly again.
Nope, you got it.
Hey!
Yeah, hard success. This is definitely the silver here. Looking at it, this has been worked, and you know that this is put it together with those beads. This is probably was at one point jewelry, maybe a silver and beaded necklace, or some sort of decoration on clothing. Maybe something religious. Maybe just something for beauty. You don't know, but this is definitely man-made, not naturally occurring.
Marian's like, wait, where did you find that?
Oh, over here. And she points down at a little spot, and you can see glistening through the dirt more sparkles of those crystals. It looks like maybe topaz.
Ooh. Marian says, do you want to see what else we can find down there?
Sure. Marian, give me a history roll.
Ooh.
And I'm going to let Gerald and Jebediah make one as well.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, close, Gerald. You can push that if you want. That would mean having to snatch them out of her hand to get a closer look.
Yeah, he's too refined to do that.
So you just look over her shoulder. Well, Marian, you and Jebediah probably confirm for a moment. These are Abenaki. This is the tribe of Native Americans that have lived on this land for thousands of years. Their oral history goes back like 20,000 years, but maybe you have your doubts as to whether or not that's accurate, especially Jebediah and Gerald, having been on a folklore expedition over the previous few days. You know how the truth can be twisted. But their oral history goes back tens of thousands of years, and they're still around. There's still communities of Abenaki, although they have pretty much shrunk to where they have blended in with modern society. There's no reservation out here where the natives would have been granted land. They were just kind of told, hey, fit in or move. And what few are still here have just kind of fit in. These look to be relatively old. They're not modern by any stretch. You would guess they're probably maybe 50 or 60 years old. That would be, a pretty close approximation, just based on the evidence of tools and smelting in here. That there was a mold for this silver. This wasn't carved. This was molded. But it could have been 100 years. You don't know, or even more. But it's probably anywhere from 50 to 100 years old. And
Interesting.
Jebediah, what's your conclusion with this? What would Jebediah think about this?
Well, certainly an interesting find, though I'm not sure quite what to think about it. Could I make an anthropology roll?
Yes, please do. You can definitely push that. It will just mean that you'll spend some of your precious daylight hours piecing together what this is, and you're struggling. And man, you've got like a really high anthropology score and still couldn't quite make it. You're not convinced that this could be ceremonial. This could be grave goods. You don't know. But it's definitely valuable. This would be something that the Abenaki would have treasured. This isn't something they would just have thrown away.
Well, I'm not sure why it would be here, but definitely make sure to document it in your notes, and we will certainly put some more detailed study into it later.
And you begin to take those notes, and having made a find here, you begin to excavate even more. And now that you're coming up with different items, you begin to find more things. Worked porcupine quills, bone tools, more and more emerging from the soil as the students continue to dig. Then you find a partial fragment of a bone, and this will take a medicine roll. Let me have... Are any of us have anything above a 1 in medicine?
No.
No. Okay, let's not make it a medicine. Let's do a natural world roll then. I think you guys are probably all 10s on that. You can all make a natural world roll.
Oh my god.
That's close.
Yeah.
Anybody get it? If not, if you want to spend... You want to spend 3 luck?
Yes.
Or does anyone want to push?
Spend 3 luck.
Okay. These are... And you would know, particularly because of the events of this morning, these are human remains, for sure. And you begin to find more and more... And then you find a smaller one, a smaller set of bones, and at first you think maybe this is a child, but then you realize this is not a human, this is a dog. There are dog bones intermixed with these human bones. This is quite obviously some sort of mass Abenaki grave, and based on the number and types of finds, this could be an entire community that was buried here at the same time, young and old together with all of their possessions.
Oh.
As you're excitedly doing this, Lewis, who is this guy, Lewis Gibbons, comes over and says, "Hey guys, Blaine left me in charge. He said he had to run back to the house, and he would be back shortly. He needs to go see how the other team is doing, and then he said he'd come back, and we should just continue to catalog here what we find." I kind of think this is maybe out of our league. Should we wait or should we keep digging? Professor, what do you think?
No, certainly not. We should not wait. We could miss out on discovery, and I won't do that twice. We'll keep digging.
And so you continue.
Julian's spider sense is tingling.
If only Julian was there. Let's go to the other group. So yeah, Robert is now gone again.
Yay.
Let's go to the other group. As you've got 2 vehicles, and you could all pile into one car, or you could take 2. Arthur, do you want to take 2 cars or just 1 vehicle?
We could take just 1, I guess.
Who wants to drive that? I think, Arthur, you've driven before. Does anyone else want to try driving the car this time? It'd be either, well, it'd be you or Julian.
Julian wants to try driving.
Yeah, Julian.
Julian's
give me
excited.
a drive auto roll. Oh, you got it. Nice. Excellent. So you actually drive quite well, quite safely. The vehicle operates perfectly. And you've got... these are the bench seats.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up and smile, like as you see the shining teeth just ding.
Nice. As you're driving, we've got 2 bench seats. So in the front bench, we've got Julian, Terrence, and Harry. In the back bench is Arthur, Jason, and William. And Arthur, you're probably in the middle, and Jason is to your right side. And he kind of leans over, and the cars back then were noisy, and so there's a lot of noise. And he says, Arthur, do you think you've got it memorized? Do you remember the words that I showed you, that cipher?
Oh, I don't think I have it quite memorized yet.
Well, here, while we're waiting, let's just go over it together, okay?
Okay, Jason.
Give me an intelligence or intellect roll. You need to beat a hard success on this. And you do. So you begin to recite the words that he had given you. And as you recite it, you see him, he's getting more and more excited. Yes, that's right. Yes, you've got it. And I'm going to put something on your sheet. This goes under gear and cash. You now have a new spell.
Oh.
This is called the Will of the Warlock. This bends the will of the target to that of the caster. For the spell to take effect, you must succeed in an opposed power roll with the target. If you succeed, the target obeys the commands of the caster without exception until the next combat round concludes. This can only affect 1 individual at a time, has a maximum range of 10 yards. Obviously, the command must be intelligible to the target, and the spell may be broken if a command contradicts the target's basic nature, such as telling them to fly. Dominate, which is this sort of spell, a domination spell, can be cast and recast as many times as you find possible, allowing a target to be controlled without interruption for several minutes. To cast this spell, which is instantaneous, you will lose 1 magic point and 1 sanity point. So this is now in your arsenal. In fact, you recoup magic points at the rate of 1 per hour. I'm going to give you 1 more magic point back on there. It's been about an hour since you cast that spell. Just like with the Shroud of Shadows, if you want to cast this the first time, you need to make a power roll. You need to beat a hard success. If you do, the spell goes off. If you fail, you'll have to pay those costs, and then you can push it. And if you push it, you pay the costs again, and if you succeed, the spell goes off. If you fail the push roll, the spell still happens, but then something bad happens. Now, game-wise, you're in a bit of a quandary, because to cast this spell, you will lose 1 point of sanity, which, since you have underlying insanity right now, it will drive you insane to do so.
Okay.
So maybe you don't want to test this out.
The Mad Wizard.
Yep. But you now have access to this because you had Jason to teach you this spell. And so that will now show up under gear and cash on your character sheet. And as you go through the words, Jason, as you near the end, he holds out his hand and says, "Stop, stop, yes. Now you know the last word. When you speak that last word, that's when the spell goes into effect. Here, watch this." And he leans past you and looks over at William and says, "William." And William sits up straight and he turns and looks, and Jason says, "Give Arthur your watch." And William immediately takes off his watch and hands it to Arthur, holding out the watch above Arthur's waist. Do you take the watch?
No. And I'm gonna turn to Jason and I'll say, "Listen, Jason, this is really cool stuff, but I don't think we should be using it when, we don't have to. It could be dangerous."
You don't think we have to use this? You and I, we're the butt of the jokes. People like William and Julian, and especially Terence, they look down on us. Well, now we have the upper hand, Arthur.
I'll do a listening roll to see if I can hear all that shit.
Yeah, give me a listen check. Because it's noisy and they're whispering, you're going to need to get an extreme success. Oh, no. You can push it if you like. That would mean turning around saying, "What are you guys talking about?" Oof, not an extreme success. So you didn't pick up what they're saying, but you did hear conversation.
That they're talking, I guess.
And as you say that, you can see William holding his hand out with his watch in it in front of Arthur, and Arthur's kind of waving his hands like, no, I don't want this. And Jason says,
"Interesting.
Just drive, Julian. Everything's fine. We're just talking."
Go back to focus on the road, I guess." But I'm like, what was
then
that about?
Jason turns and says, "See, I didn't even cast the spell, and he already listens. That's power. This can be your power too, Arthur. Yours and mine."
Yeah, I guess so.
"William, put your watch back on." And William puts his watch on and then slumps back in the seat, and you can see sweat coming down William's forehead. Arthur, give me a spot hidden roll, please. You can see that William's fists are balled up as though he were fighting or trying to resist. And then you see them relax visibly, and he shakes his head for a moment and says, "What was that?" And he turns and looks at you. "What just happened?"
William, are you okay? Did something happen?
"I don't know. It's like I just zoned out, like I was daydreaming or something. I was just buzzing in my head."
Yeah, that is weird.
"Oh, do you hear that sound?" And you don't hear any sounds.
No, I don't, William.
"Oh, I've got a terrible headache now. Oh, look, here we are. This is the Bellwether house," William says, and he pulls out some notes. We were told the other day to avoid, let's see, where is it? Oh, stay away from that witch Bellwether. This should be fun. Who wants to make the approach? Who wants to knock on the door?
Julian will make their approach.
So Mrs. Bellwether lives on the far side of the valley at the end of a small circle. Her small home is in desperate need of a fresh coat of paint and some minor repairs. Here and there, potted plants and a homespun quilt add a splash of color to the otherwise drab building. When you arrive at the door, you knock, and there's a brief pause, and then you can hear footsteps creaking on the wooden floor as someone approaches. An old face greets you at the door, filled with wrinkles, age spots, wild gray hair. She's got a few long, coarse whiskers growing off of her chin. And you can see a large black cat doing figure eights between her ankles. Yes? Can I help you, boys?
Miss Bellwether, hi. This is my name is Julian Mercer. I'm a fellow student of Miskatonic University. We're here on an expedition to learn about the town and its history.
Oh.
Is it possible to have a bit of your time to hear some of your tales?
Well, yes, of course. Come in, boys. Yes, you're all welcome to come in.
I appreciate that. I appreciate your time. And I gestured to the rest of the group to come inside.
Now, when you go in, she has a very small kitchen table, and she only has 4 chairs. She takes one of the chairs. She says, well, I'm afraid you all can't sit. Terrence immediately takes a chair. So there's 2 chairs left. Does anyone else?
There's 6 of us, right? Who's the other guy that's with us?
So you've got William.
Got Harry. Oh, William. Oh, that's William.
Yeah.
Oh.
Terrence, Jason, and the 2 of you. So she sits at one chair. Terrence takes the other. There's 2 chairs left. Do either of you two?
Is Jason sitting down?
Jason's not sitting down.
I'm gonna point to Jason. Like, Jason, you can sit down. It's okay.
Says, no, I'm kind of sore from sitting in the car. It'll do me some good to stand.
I'm gonna like push Jason onto the chair and be like, I insist.
Ooh. Give me an intimidate roll.
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, nice. He sits down as you push him down, and he turns and looks at you with a look of contempt. And
I just stare him down. I'm like, don't make me hit you.
He mouths a word. You don't need to make a listen roll to hear it, but he says, soon. And then he says, Arthur,
And I'll
sit
like,
down, please.
I'll be, yeah. I'm like, Arthur, do you want to sit down too? Like, gently, just like, Arthur, you can sit down if you want to.
Oh, okay. I'll sit with you, Jason.
When you sit, Mrs. Bellwether tells you how she was once the midwife around these parts, and she learned her skills from her mother, but the sheriff made her stop when Dr. Perry came to town. Although in reality, she's never given up helping those around her. Enough people still come to her wanting her remedies and advice, which she trades for animals, fresh fruits, vegetables, and occasionally even money, so that she still manages to make a comfortable living. Once you get settled, she will tell you her tale, and there's a handout for this. Let me grab it. And I'll send this to everyone. She says, oh, when Franklin Cobb and the original settlers were moving toward this valley, they was halted by a group of Indians. It seems the Indians tried to warn the settlers that this was cursed land. They told Franklin that long ago a tribe settled in this valley and evil spirits wiped them out in a single night. According to their legends, the tribe died in the most hideous ways, frozen, burned, or ripped apart. The remains of those massacred were found and buried at the foot of a hill in the valley. But on that evening, the evil spirits took to the air, screaming curses and threats. But the Indian's wise man had powerful magic, and he was able to keep the spirits at bay while his tribe made their escape. Now I believe that there's some truth in it. There ain't no bugs in the valley, no bees, no skeeters. Birds don't fly overhead going south for the winter, and no bear or mountain lion comes down to terrorize us. The only things living in this valley are man, and the things man brings. Did you know that farmers here don't have to worry about weeds? They won't grow here, at least not in the crops. So many things do grow here, though. If we couldn't sell it all off to the cities, we'd be drowning in crops and cows, and all this produce coming from thin, rocky soil. Every so often I wonder why we was granted this bounty, but more than that, I wonder what we're paying for it. And let's take our break there, as you just heard this story of this terrible Indian massacre while the other group is uncovering a bunch of bodies at the base of Broken Hill.
While Robert Bang's running wild somewhere.
Yeah, and we don't know where Robert is. Let's take an 8-minute break, and I will see you all shortly.
deeper I wonder. Charged through the open gate, the flame of the dragon tried to seal my awful fate with a handful of dice. 5 times I rolled 20. The dragon goes down, the DM plenty. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a naval caper. While in real life, my fate isn't spoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate isn't spoken. The king honored me with the mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
All right, I am back.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Have we got a Luke and a Henrik?
Hello, yep.
There's a Luke. Do we have a Henrik? Give Henrik a moment.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there we are. Excellent. Well, let's jump back into the fray then. So, excellent. Julian, you managed to sneak that. Well, actually, let me give Jason a spot hidden roll, just in case. You have to get an extreme success. Nope. So you got it. So you managed to slip the book out of his pocket. And as you thumb through it, it's all written in strange symbols. They don't look quite like hieroglyphs, but I'm going to give you an Egyptian hieroglyphs roll as you look at it. Oh, wow. Okay. Critical success. So you know right away that this is written in some sort of code, that he has encoded whatever it is he's going to do or keep track of in this, and it could probably be cracked, but you would have to find whatever he's using, determine what sort of cipher he's using. But this is definitely written in coded writing. And it looks like many of the pages are similar in basic appearance, but every now and then there's little sketches, little doodles that have been drawn in here. And they are symbols from like alchemy, the symbol for Mercury and symbol for Saturn and things like that. Just different alchemical or occult-ish sorts of symbols. In fact, give me an occult roll, if you would, please. Nice. Yeah, it looks like if this was the book that he was keeping track of all the stories that have been picked up, you would be stunned if that's all that was in here. You think there's more in here than just that, but you can't read it without.
I can't read it, but I know that it's in code, and he's using some kind of cipher.
Yes, exactly. Now the question is, how do you give this back to him?
How do I give it back to him?
Or do you even bother? You keep it.
I would probably just keep it, right? I just pretend I don't know where it went. I just go, "Oh, bro, you lost it." Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna pocket it, but I just don't. Yeah, I'm gonna need to try and crack this code now to see what the hell he's doing.
Arthur. Jason, while this old lady is talking, he turns and looks at you, and again his mouth doesn't move, but you hear the words, "Grab something that belongs to her."
Like what?
Do you say that out loud?
I'll whisper it to Jason.
Give me a stealth roll as you try to whisper this quietly.
Sorry, I'm having some connection issues.
Okay.
I can't
I
load my character
can
sheet.
roll that for you really quickly. You did not pass. You could spend 28 luck, or you could push that. If you fail a pushed roll, maybe your voice cracks at an inopportune time, and you're like what?
I'll push it.
All right, let's push it. Yeah, your voice lets out a little crack, and Jason looks at you and says, "Shh, I'm trying to listen." And gives you kind of a side eye, don't speak out loud.
Okay. Is there something on the table that I could grab from her?
There is a lace doily on the table. There's a little bowl of nuts, walnuts, and acorns on the table, and there's a little lace doily underneath it.
Yeah.
Does the old lady also hears that Jason's Alpha's like what?
Yeah, and she says, "Huh? I'll talk louder." And she talks a little bit louder. Jason, do you take the doily? Be a sleight of hand roll. Or Arthur, do you take the doily?
Can I take an acorn?
Yeah, that'll cover it.
Okay.
So you reach out oh, snacks. I'll roll that for you. Let me know when you get your character sheet back up. your hand kind of fumbles into the bowl of nuts, and a few of them spill out.
Okay.
You want to push that roll?
Yeah.
Oh, closer, but no.
Man.
As you start to pull the doily away, she says, Son, I'll get you a napkin. Don't wipe your hands on that.
I'm so sorry, ma'am.
That's very precious to me.
Oh, jeez.
And she goes and gets a little cloth napkin. This thing was probably once part of like bed sheets, and she has since, when the sheets were worn, she cut them up into napkin-sized, hem the edges, but hands you a napkin.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, can't have you getting any of that the oil from those nuts on your hands. It'll smudge the pages of your books.
Oh, right, yeah.
They say cleanliness is next to godliness, after all. And up here we feel very close to God.
I'm gonna talk to the old lady. I'm like, any relations you have with the Franklin? Is it Franklin? That
Oh, no. Just, I come to this town. I've been here for a few generations, but no relation to the Franklins, I'm afraid.
oh. Why they call you the witch? What was the story with that?
Well, do I look like a witch to you? Of course not. But I have my home remedies that I often share with the people in town that ask for them. And, some of the folk, they don't take kindly to that. I blame the doctor. Of course, Dr. Perry, he tells everyone to take garlic as though we're all a bunch of vampires, but ain't none of us that. No, I try and provide a remedy made from Mother Earth, and folk look down upon me, say I'm strange. Ain't nothing strange about using nature's bounty to help heal your ailments. Why, here, son. See that mark on your face? And she points at Harry Higgins. And he's like, oh, this one here. And he points at his cheek. It's a birthmark. I've had it ever since I was born. Well, I can't fix that birthmark, but I can help your complexion. Here's a salve. This is Bellwether's Black Salve, I call it. Rub a little bit upon your face. It'll help clear up all that acne that I can see forming on your forehead now. Do yourself a favor, put this on, see if you don't feel better in the morning. And he takes it, thanks. Kind of looks around, and you see him pulling his hair down to try and cover some of his forehead, where he does have some visible acne. Is there anything else I can offer you, boys? You come here for a tale, but how can I be of service to you? You hear, Arthur, you hear a voice. It's Jason's voice in your head, says, go to the bathroom.
Okay. Excuse me, ma'am. Can I ask, where's your bathroom?
We have a water closet in this house.
Oh.
Down the hall, to the left. Not to the right, to the left.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'll stand up and start walking towards it.
And you go into the bathroom. It's a typical old lady's bathroom. There's scented soaps. There's towels that you're not supposed to wipe your hands on. These are decorative towels. And there is a toilet that has the water box and the pipe, and you pull the chain, and which would be kind of fancy in this town. The house you're staying at does not have this. It has an outhouse, but here she has a water closet, and there's a mirrored vanity. You can see your reflection in the vanity. It's the kind that you could open up and there might be medicines or things behind it.
I'll look around and I'll try to see if there's any, memento in the bathroom, or, in the hall as I passed.
Give me a spot hidden.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yes, there's a small bowl next to the sink, and in the bowl there are hairpins. These would be used, she put her hair up, put pins through it to help hold her hair in place. And some of these look to be made of bone, which was not uncommon. That's kind of what they did in olden times. Nowadays, you might find wooden ones, but it was perfectly normal to have a bone hairpin, and these are definitely made of bone, and they're very slender and very delicate.
Okay.
Maybe 3.5 to 4 inches long.
I will take one and I'll put it in my pocket.
Does Arthur feel bad at all about stealing from this woman?
Yeah, he does, but I feel like Jason is just such a big influence on him. He's like one of the only friends that he has right now, so he's very, he wants Jason's approval, so he might do things that he doesn't exactly agree with to get that approval.
Okay. You leave the bathroom, and there's a little bit more small talk around the table before she pushes her chair back and says, "Well, boys, if you'll excuse me, I have chores I need to attend to. I wish you all best of luck in your research, and may your stay here in Cobb's Corners be fruitful." And she shows you to the front door. Jason pulls Arthur aside as you're towards the car. "What did you get?"
I'll take the hairpin out of my pocket and show it to him.
"Oh, yeah. This will work. Yeah, this will work nicely. Well done, Arthur."
Did Julian catch this at all?
Give me a listen roll.
Damn, you guys have been conspiring.
And Arthur, you can give me a stealth roll.
Nope.
Arthur, you missed by 4. Julian, you missed by 30. They're both the same. Arthur, do you want to spend? Do you want to push or spend 4 luck?
No, I'm gonna push. I'm gonna
Yeah,
push.
I'll push as well. Okay.
You don't hear exactly what they're saying, but you can tell that they're whispering to one another.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So with a hard success, you picked up some words.
Yeah.
I
I guess I'll just leave it at that for now, because I know that they're conspiring. That's good enough for me.
Yep. Yeah, you're very suspicious.
I'll ask Jason, why do we need this from the old lady?
Well, there's a witch in town, and if it wasn't the bones that we found this morning, I think it could be her. Don't you find it strange that children go missing or die at an early age in this town? She's the midwife. She birthed them. What's to say she doesn't lay some claim to them, and that she's not killing them before they become adults?
Well, I guess that's an idea.
It's just an idea, but I hope to find out for sure. And there's no better way than my way. The way of the warlock.
I guess you're right.
Oh my god.
Tonight we'll do it. We'll ask the questions. We'll get the answers.
Okay, Jason.
Did you notice?
While they do...
Sorry.
While they're doing that, can I ask the old lady, like, Bellwether, if she wanted any tasks she needs me doing? Like, I can help her out while I'm here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know.
Give me maybe a charm roll. Oh, nice. She says, well, as a matter of fact, yes. And she points over, there's a wood pile near her house, and it looks like it's been all disturbed, knocked over. If you wouldn't mind stacking up that wood for me, why, it'd save my back a whole lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah. No problem, Miss Bellwether.
William and Harry will gladly go and help you. Terrence kind of turns his nose up. He's like, I'm not stacking her wood. I didn't come on this to do manual labor, or otherwise I'd be with the first group. I'll just watch the car. Arthur, do you and Jason go help out with the wood?
Yeah, I guess I could.
As you are going through the wood, you have a phobia from last time.
Yeah,
Is it a fear of forests?
it is.
It is. So as you're handling this wood, your mind is drawn back to the events of earlier that day. And here you're surrounded now by pieces of a forest. And you can't help but shake the feeling as you are putting all these pieces back in a nice, orderly fashion that this was once a forest, and now you're touching it with your bare hands. You're trying to organize it. This forest holds sway over you. Please give me a sanity roll.
Ew.
Okay, you're going to lose 1 point of sanity. And then roll a d10 for me. Oh, okay. So it's paranoia. You will suffer severe paranoia for 1d10 rounds. So let me roll to see how many rounds you're going to be a little bit paranoid for. 8 rounds. So about as long as you can humanly bear to handle this wood. So Julian is chopping away with an axe, and pieces fall off, and you go pick them up, and every strike of that axe you flinch a little bit more and a little bit more. And then you're holding this armload of wood, and as you set it down, you see you've got bits of wood, pieces of bark stuck to your beautiful sweater vest. How would you then cope with paranoia at that moment?
I think I would drop whatever I was doing. I would drop the log that maybe I was carrying, and I would try to I would probably go back to the car and isolate myself in the car. Lock myself in there.
Perfect. So you go to the car, and you're sat in the car, and you're breathing kind of heavily, maybe hyperventilating a little bit, and you got your eyes closed, just trying to shut out the mental images, and you hear the car door open and close. And when you open your eyes and look to the side, sitting next to you is Rufus.
Oh.
Now tell us who Rufus is.
Well, Rufus is my imaginary friend. He always takes the blame for me when I'm getting into trouble. And
what does Rufus look like? Is he your age, or is he younger?
He's my age. He's kind of a loser like me, or kind of a nerd, I should say. And he looks very similar to me.
Now,
Julian regrets not taking any psychoanalysis on his character sheet.
in Call of Cthulhu, when you are having a bout of madness, there is a side effect, which is a delusion. And a delusion happens when you have this underlying insanity. You can ask for a reality check, and to do so, you might say, like, "Can I try and see through this?" You'll make a sanity roll, and it's only if you want to. If you fail, you'll lose a point of sanity, and then you'll have another bout of madness. If you succeed, you'll know that this is just a delusion. This is a product of your state of mind at the moment. But you can also just go with this, because as far as you know, here's Rufus right here next to you.
Yeah, I think I would just view this as a normal occurrence, because, Rufus has been around for quite a while.
And then remind me, what does Rufus look like? Does he look like you?
He does, yes.
Your same age?
Yes.
Almost like you had an identical twin?
Yeah.
And he says, "Hey, buddy, are you okay?"
Oh, hey, Rufus. It's just, I'm just remembering back to this morning when we were in the woods, and that monster. It was so scary.
That wasn't your fault. Look, I'll just say that was me, okay? You were back in the house. You were making tea, and I was the one out there in the woods.
Thanks, Rufus. I feel a lot better.
Yeah, I'm here for you, buddy.
You're always here for me, Rufus. I can really count on you.
Always here for you. Hey, you sure you're okay?
I'm okay now that you're here, Rufus.
All right, well, I'll be here whenever you need me. Just remember.
Thanks, Rufus.
And then you hear the car door open, and you turn, and it's Jason. And he says, "Scoot over. It's time to go." And when you go to scoot, you see Rufus is no longer there.
Okay.
Jason says, "Who were you talking to?"
Oh, no one. Just Rufus.
Oh. Yeah, I know about Rufus.
You do?
Yeah, don't you remember? You told me about Rufus?
I did.
Yeah,
What? I don't remember that.
sure. That first night, you told me someone had wet your bed.
Oh, right.
You
Yeah.
said it was Rufus.
Rufus does stuff like that to me all the time.
Yeah. I have a Rufus too, but he doesn't come around anymore. I hope yours will stay.
I hope he'll stay too. But what happened to yours?
He died.
Can I ask how he died?
I don't think you want to know, Arthur.
Oh. Okay.
Let's just say it's better this way. And Rufus, he'll be there for you until you don't need him any longer. And maybe he'll die too. And then the car door opens and everyone else begins to pile in.
Since I'm helping the old lady out, and then Ms. Bellwether, I'm gonna ask if she, for like a reward, like does she needs anything, like what kind of can she offer a meal or something like that?
She says, "Well, sure. I can get you. It's not quite supper time. I can get you. I've got some pie. You can have some pie if you like. But if you want to come back around, supper time, or how about come by in the morning? I'll have a delicious breakfast for us. You could start your day right."
No. I like to come here at night.
Oh. Sure.
I think that, yeah.
Why don't you come? Well, let's see. I can't do tonight. It'd have to be later. If I'm a bit of a night owl. If you want to come by tonight around 10 o'clock, that would work for me.
Yep, I'll do that. Oh, yeah. In the meantime, I'll keep your axe in case there's more wood that needs to be chopping. I'll bring it back tonight.
No, I have to insist that that stays here. That axe it belonged to my dear departed husband, and I just no, I'd feel better about it staying here.
Can I try and persuade?
Yes.
Honor?
I'd really feel better if you left the axe here. Do you push it? Ah. In fact, she reaches out her hand and takes the axe in her hand and pulls it away from you. If there's one thing I can't abide, is someone taking something that doesn't belong to them. Meanwhile, Arthur's twiddling his thumbs in the car. She bids you farewell and says, "You're welcome to come back tonight, 10 o'clock. I'll have some hot cocoa for you boys. A special treat." Let's go back to group 1. Gerald, Marian, and Jebediah. You've been toiling for most of the day, and it's starting to get dark. It's supper time, and you've got a camp stove that you're preparing a meal on, and it's just tinned beans, and you've got some bread and butter. A pretty Spartan meal, but it's a nice evening. It's been stormy the last couple days, but it's actually really nice tonight. But as the temperature begins to cool, there's a mist that begins to rise up along the ground, and it makes it a little eerie out here because there's no lights other than your lanterns. You're surrounded by forest and trees, and then this rock. They might call it a hill. But it's basically just a huge rock mound. And Blaine has not returned. Gerald, how are you busying yourself?
Doing his best to seem useful while not getting under anybody's toes. I'm not really sure what that would entail, but he's aware of his limits.
This is not your strength, doing the excavating, things like that. But you probably have a chance to, again, to go over some of the history of the Abenaki. It's fascinating, the things that you've learned about. You came out here to learn about folklore, and what better way than learning about the peoples that were once here. And give me a history roll as you overhear the stories told by the other students about the Abenaki.
Who?
Yeah, a lot of it's just over your head. Different tribes and the various histories of this place, and not much of it is kind of in your wheelhouse. But one thing that you do pick up is about the belief system of these natives, and that they seem to have believed in various spirits of nature: earth spirits, water spirits, wind spirits, and their concept of an afterlife was somewhat different from, Judeo-Christian beliefs that are prevalent at the time. They tended to believe that, based on the stories that you've heard, that the great god took a sack and poured out from the sack bones, and those bones became man. And when we die, our bones will go back into the earth to be recycled and renewed. And it's not exactly reincarnation, but it sounds like that's similar to their belief that we are recycled into other people. And give me a philosophy roll. I believe you have training in philosophy.
Yeah, it's not his like specific area of study, but it's his special interest. It's
Yeah.
like his hobby. Oh,
I'm gonna let you push that. Again, you're trying to correlate what you've heard with other philosophies, with other religious thoughts and beliefs, and it doesn't sound exactly like things that you might be familiar with. And you maybe ask a few pointed questions to Jebediah or.
I think it's a fumble, so I can't be pushed, right? Maybe.
If it's a double ought, you can't push that one, but you can push if you're in a situation where pushing would be like, and if you fumble, like you drop something and you can't just pick it back up again. But for this one, it's just more. It takes you more time through this fumble, but it's not like the double ought, the critical fumble. As you begin to piece this together, it starts to make sense. It makes sense in that belief system, and you're looking at this mass grave, and you're wondering, what did these people think they would come back as? How would they have returned? And at that point, Lewis, this fellow here, he says, "Guys, I am not feeling good about staying out here tonight. I think we should go back to the farmhouse. I don't like the idea of being around all these bodies. Anyone else want to go back to the farm?"
Absolutely.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. This is a little too creepy for me.
I think, yes, we all should go back to the farm and not stay in a field overnight.
As you go, sorry, go ahead, Jebediah.
Yes, but if Mr. Blaine has not yet returned, I don't believe we have a vehicle. That would be an awfully long walk in the dark.
And that is correct, because he did take the vehicle.
He has the only car?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, Marian, I think, just casts a weary eye to the heavens and is like, yeah, I guess we are stuck here then.
As you cast your eye up to the heavens, you see something moving in the cloud.
Oh no.
There's a cloud, dark and foreboding. There's not expected to be rain, but this cloud, you can see a shape, almost a shadow, moving inside that cloud. And then you hear a cough, and it's Roderick Block. He begins to cough and hack. What is that? And then you hear a thud as his body hits the ground.
Oh no.
Gerald, Jebediah, and Marian, you turn around and you see something in that mist that's starting to come up through the field. It's roughly man-sized. It seems to be standing on 2 legs, maybe 3. You can't quite tell. It's pink. It's kind of a pinkish flesh color. It looks inhuman, like some sort of mix between a humanoid and a crab. You can see long, chitinous, barbed arms coming off that end in claws. And a strange buzzing sound begins to fill the air. And Gerald, give me a spot hidden roll.
That's close enough. I might just spend the luck.
Spend the
if that's
luck?
okay.
Yeah. In the mist, you can see its hand is clutching some sort of cylinder. And there is, it looks like powder or maybe some sort of smoke coming out of the end of it. And that same smoke is swirling around Roderick Block's head as he hits the ground. And it raises its arm up at you. Now, I need the three of you to make a sanity roll.
Oh dear.
If I'd known that was the only car.
Oh my. Yeah, I also didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wheel here.
So let me grab the. Sorry, let me see what the sanity loss is here. 1 second. Thought I had it. So if you pass, you lose 0. So that would be Gerald, you lose 0, which is good because had you lost 1, or had you failed this sanity roll, you would have gone insane. Those that fail will lose 1d6.
Oh, boy.
Jeez.
Ooh,
6.
yep. There I go.
So, Professor and Marian. Isn't that
Jesus.
Gilligan's Island? The Professor and Marianne. Showing my
Yeah.
age here. So the two of you are now indefinitely insane.
Woo.
Okay. So you don't have to make the intelligence roll. You just both give me a D10 to see what your bout of madness will be.
Here we go.
All right. So Marian, you got a 3. Violence.
Again.
Yep, a red mist descends and you explode in a spree of uncontrolled violence and destruction directed at your surroundings, allies, or foes alike for
Oh, no.
1d10.
To be fair, that makes sense because she already had it before, so
Yep.
she's an
Yeah.
professional.
And you gave her a knife, so
for 4 rounds.
she's gonna stab people.
Then, Professor, you have a psychosomatic disability. You suffer either blindness, deafness, or loss of the use of a limb or limbs for 1d10 rounds. Go ahead and roll a d10 and see how long that will last for. For 10 rounds. So what do you want to have happen, Professor? Do you go blind, deaf, dumb?
Perhaps my... perhaps I'm blind.
Okay, you go blind. And probably for the best, that would be the most merciful thing. So your vision, you get tunnel vision, and then everything goes black, and all you hear are screams. And the scream is coming from Marian. Gerald, you're the only one that still has control of your faculties. What are you doing?
Gerald is deeply concerned about the stick that this thing is holding, but not in a position to do much. Maybe he could try to... he knows. He's seen that violence in Marian before. He knows. Maybe he could try to get to Roderick and see if pulling him away, see if distance helps with whatever this, madness is.
So give me a strength roll. Nice. You grab Roderick and begin to drag him, and he's unconscious. He's still breathing, but it's almost like he's just been knocked out, rendered unconscious by whatever those spores or vapors were that fell out of that rod that the creature was holding. He's dead weight, and so you're dragging him away, looking back, and you can hear buzzing sounds all around you in the mist, as though that is not the only one of these creatures that's there. And then you see Clarissa, you see her hold up her arms and gasp as a blast of spores or vapor or something comes from another one of those creatures holding one of these purplish black rods, as it sprays her face with this mist, and she falls backwards, and you see her hit her head quite hard on the ground, and you can see blood from here as you're dragging Roderick away. Let's go back to Jebediah. Your vision just ended. You cannot see. You can still hear, you can smell, you can touch. What does Jebediah do?
I think he would probably just try and feel around and find his way to the opposite direction of where he last saw this creature.
So you're at a small clearing. You know that if you go kind of away from that creature, that's the way that the road is. There's the road that leads up here. And if you can make it to the road, there's a chance you could potentially get away. You don't want to walk blindly through trees or over, there's cliffs around here. You don't want to go near there, but the road would be safe. And so you're going to head towards the road. Give me a roll for this, since you're doing it blind. Give me a navigate roll. You don't need to push it. A fail doesn't mean you didn't find the road. It just means it's going to be a little more difficult. If you want to push it, you can, but if you fail that, there will be a consequence.
No, I'll keep that roll.
Okay, so you're stumbling around. Marian, what are you doing? You've got this knife, see?
Yup.
And anger, just everything begins to turn red.
So mad.
And you can see Lewis coming up to you. He's reaching out his hands. Everyone else might see he's trying to say, like, Marian, are you okay? But you see him reaching like he's trying to choke you.
Oh no. Well, Lewis, I'm sorry, but it's time to stab.
All right, I'm going to pull us into a combat.
There she goes
here.
again. Trying to stab. The knife was such a nice gift until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't. All right. Let's go. All right, Marian, you're up.
Okay. So is it like you click on the guy and then you hit T?
Yep, hit T. That will target him.
Great.
There you go. And then just click on your knife on your character sheet.
Yes. Yes, combat small knife.
And then he is going to try to dodge out of the way as you're trying to attack him.
Woo!
And he succeeds. So he dodges your blow. He sidesteps like, whoa, what are you doing? And it's his turn. He's going to try to knock the knife out of your hand. So he will target you, and this will be a fighting roll. And then you can either fight back or you can try to dodge this roll. So you can choose on the chat screen, just below your picture, it says dodging, fighting back. You can choose which one you want to do. Or you can try to maneuver, like sweep his legs or anything like that.
Well, she's in a spout of violence, so I think fighting back makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too. And just click fighting back.
And then it says punch or small knife.
Yeah, so then choose which one you want to use.
Ooh. Ooh. Well, he's trying to take the knife, right?
Yep.
So has he like grabbed my hand with the
Yeah,
knife?
so with his right hand,
Okay.
he's grabbed your right wrist. So your left hand is free. You could easily punch him right in the face.
Yeah, I think punching makes sense there. Alright.
And you both fail. So you're struggling. You're tussling over this knife. Gerald, it's your turn. You're pulling Roderick with you. He's out. You see that thing in the mist begin to take a few tentative steps towards you, and you get just a momentary view of its foot and its leg. It has this strange, almost cloven, clawed hoof or foot. This would be like those prints that Julian had seen in the mud.
Right. And did you say there was a buzzing noise? Because
Yes, you can hear
Gerald had a dream the first night he was here that had a buzzing. I think they're in the handouts.
Yep.
Is he just wondering if it's the same thing?
It's the
He's
same
probably
noise. Yep, the exact same sound.
Interesting. As soon as he realized there might be several of them, I think he dropped Roderick and he's just trying to flee.
Nice. Give me a power roll.
Ooh. Yeah, oh my. That not his thing, generally speaking.
But that's okay. So what this represents is like, do you basically do you leave him helpless here? Like, do you have it in you to try and be a protector? And no, the dice says no. You would run and preserve yourself. So I think that would make sense. If you want to just drop Roderick and run for your life, you can do that.
Yeah, he's not dead. He's just unconscious.
Yeah, just unconscious.
So, well, who knows? But
He's
yeah,
not dead
I think
yet.
Gerald yeah,
So-
he's goodness.
Jebediah, you are staggering around. You can hear things moving around you. You can hear screams, shouts, strange clicking and buzzing sounds, but everything is black. And you begin to get a picture in your mind of the layout of the camp and the road, and you think you're close to it. If you want to continue to head for the road, you can give me a navigation roll.
Yes, I will just try and feel along the ground and make my way over there.
You stumble. You stumble and trip over a stone. You're going to take some damage. One point of damage. I'll put that on your character sheet as you fall and scrape your palms as you hit the ground. But the good news is you feel the ground. It's dirt and gravel. This is the road. So you've reached the road, but you've fallen and scraped up your palms. So you get back to your feet and continue to head along the road. And you can hear someone very close. You can hear the panting, the heavy breathing. You don't see it, but it's Gerald right there. And we'll get back on Gerald's turn, but you're really close to Gerald right now. Marian, you've still got this knife.
Mm-hmm.
And Lewis is like,
yeah.
give me the knife. Quickly, give me the knife.
And she'll just lunge at him with the knife.
Nice.
Sorry, Lewis. Oh wow, that was very close.
And he's gonna fight, or sorry, he's gonna do a maneuver. He's trying to knock the knife out of your hand. Oh, and he did.
Ooh.
So you hear the knife clatter to the ground, and then he reaches down and picks it up. And then he says, check on her, and he's pointing down at Clarissa, and he turns his back to you, and he's holding the knife out in front of him, kind of swishing through the mist that's beginning to fill up this area. Gerald, you're right next to Jebediah. You see him walking. He just fell. He gets up and his hands are kind of reaching out like he can't see in front of him. Do you stop and help him, or do you make a break for it?
Yeah, Gerald, he first of all, he didn't go crazy. He's
Right.
relatively sane right now, and he knows that the professor is a veteran. I think he would kind of almost out of self-preservation be trying to help him, even if he seems blind.
Give me a roll. This would be a first aid roll.
There's a chance. Ooh.
As you look at him, you can see the cuts on his hands. If you want to push it, you can look and see if he's got like something that might be affecting his vision, cause him blindness. That would be a pushed roll.
Yeah, well...
If you fail it, it's going to slow your progress.
Yeah, you know what? This is crazy. I'm just going to spend the luck. Gerald's a lucky guy. He's not sane. He might as well use what he's got.
Nice.
He really wants to help the professor, and he thinks the professor can help him.
Having spent the luck, you can see there's nothing wrong with his eyes. His pupils are dilated, but there's no damage to his eyes. You might be able to talk him out of this. This is going to be a... normally it would be a psychoanalysis roll. I'll let you do that with a bonus die. Because you just spent a ton of luck.
Ooh, yeah. Gerald's persuasive, but not very good at digging deep. No.
Ooh.
You're like, Professor, come on, I'm here, and he's not looking at you, and so you think, his mind has shut off his sight. It does not want to see something. I'm going to have you push that roll. Oh, you got it. Nice.
Oh.
You can sense, having gone into a bit of madness yourself, you can sense that this is the state his mind is in. What do you say to pull him out of this bout of madness, this insanity?
Yeah, I think knowing what he knows, Gerald would just try to grab onto his shoulders and kind of ground him and say, Professor, it's not whatever your blindness is ain't real, but these things are. We've got to do something. We got to get out of here.
And Professor, you blink a few times and everything begins to come into focus, and you can see Gerald looking at you, and he's got a look of terror in his eyes. But you have been trained for this. It was years ago, but you were trained to deal with this sort of battlefield terror, and your training kicks back in, and with your vision restored, your nerves steeled, what do you do?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Gerald, dear boy. Well, the others, are they all right? I'm not sure what happened. Once that thing approached in the field, I lost my senses.
Yeah, it's got some kind of smoke stick that's knocking people out. You can't breathe it. I don't know. It's like a gun.
Well, is it still there? Are the others all right?
No, it's knocking us out. I think there's a few of them. It's pretty bad.
Well, perhaps we should head down the road and get as far away as we can. I'm not sure if the others can be helped.
Yes, the best thing we could do is try to get more help.
Yes. Perhaps we should make for the farm. That way we might be able to contact the sheriff or someone who may be able to help us.
Let's go to round 3. So Marian, you've got this round and the next one before your violence will stop.
Mm-hmm.
So you've lost your knife, and Lewis is holding it. He's turned his back to you. You can see Clarissa down near you, and you see blood, and that blood may trigger something in you to continue pressing the attack. Do you go after the prone Clarissa or after Lewis?
Oh, no, not Clarissa.
Or I'll give you this. You can hear, you look around, you can see Roderick laying on the ground as well. And then you can see two figures. It looks like the professor and Gerald. It looks like they're running from you. You can attack any of those.
Okay, there's so many options.
Attack everybody.
Yeah, attack them all. I mean, I feel like in this moment, since Lewis did kind of like take her knife from her, I feel like she would just keep. She probably will like run forward and like push him.
Okay, perfect. That's a brawl, so fighting brawl.
Time to brawl again. I think I'm still targeting him. Yeah. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that was terrible. That's a fumble. So that's one where you cannot you can't push that. You can't recover that. that's
Okay.
you stumble in and you just and kind of throw yourself at him, and he steps to the side like, what the hell? And he turns to actually help you up. And as he turns to help you up, you hear this buzzing sound, and then a huge plume of purple smoke envelops Lewis's head, and he coughs a few times. And let me give him a roll because it got him a glancing blow. Yeah, he stays on his feet, and he backs up, staggering, trying to swish at the air. It's like, what is that? What is that? Oh, it burns. Gerald, you're up. You and the professor.
Yeah, he's just trying to get down the road in the direction the professor is suggesting.
Same thing, Professor?
Yes.
Okay. And then Marian, this is your last round of being insane.
Woo. So am I? Did I fall when he stepped aside?
Yeah, so you probably fell to your knees, and then that blast of spore or vapor went up above your head. Had you been standing, it may have hit you in the face as well. But from here, from your knees, you can see as the mist on the ground begins to thin, you see one of those legs. It's almost like a crab leg, or in fact, it's more like a grasshopper leg, like a giant one though, as big around as your forearm. And
Whoa.
The foot looks like a huge insect-like claw pincer.
No.
It looks like
I
that
think-
thing that the people were eating for dinner last night.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I think she'll probably.
And you can attack that too if you want.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
I was gonna say she was gonna chase after the professor, but yeah, let's let her attack the leg. Let's see what happens.
Okay. You could punch at it. Now, I don't have an enemy here, so just give me the skill roll for the punch. I don't want to spoil the surprise and tell you what it is just yet.
So, is it still just fighting brawl?
Yes.
Okay. Punching it. Wow.
You got a success, so it's going to try to dodge that. Let me see what the dodge skill for this thing is, and I'll give it a roll. Its dodge is 35%, so it needs to get 35 or lower. And it does. So it dodges. So as you lunge at it, that leg, with almost inhuman speed, lifts, and then it slams down next to your hands as it manages to dodge out of the way.
Well.
Lewis will lean down and ask if you're all right. And then his eyes begin to glass over. He coughs a few times and then falls face first down onto the ground next to you. And you can see he's breathing, but he's unconscious. And that's what snaps you out of your violent turn. Gerald and Jebediah continue down the road.
Yeah,
I think so.
Do you think Gerald's a well-dressed guy? Do you think he'd have some kind of like handkerchief or something?
Yes, absolutely.
You
You would have a
might want to
silk
like hold
pocket
that over
square.
his. Yeah, exactly, something like that. Just kind of like hold that over his mouth. Maybe suggest if the professor is when you do the same.
And Professor, you would, I mean, you could always pull out your tie, but you would also have a pocket square.
Well, yes, if you think that would help, Gerald, I will also tie something around my mouth and nose.
Marian, you are now no longer insane. If you want, you can get up and run. And go out
Yes,
to the
we're
Professor
gonna-
and Gerald.
We're gonna do that.
I'm going to end the encounter here. You hear cries and shouts and that strange buzzing sound. And then you can hear pursuit. You can hear the clopping of those exoskeleton legs on the gravel ground as things are moving towards you. But you run and you catch up with the other two, and all three of you make a sprint down the road. Let's go to the other group. The other group, you have gone back to the house for dinner, and Robert Blaine is there at the house. And he has food prepared for you. He's got a nice meal of stew, invites you all to eat up. He also pulls out a bottle of whiskey and says, Julian, sorry about earlier today. This is my last drink. Let's share the rest of this bottle, and then there's no need for me to drink any further, and I'll tell the sheriff I was mistaken. And he takes a swig from the glass and then hands it around the table. And Terrence takes it and takes a drink. This is good stuff. You've always got the good stuff, he says. And then the bottle gets passed around. Does Arthur or Julian take any of the whiskey?
Julian's going to take the bottle and attack Bane with it.
Ooh. Make a fighting brawl roll. Nice. He will do the same. He needs to get a extreme six. Oh, not Marian. Sorry, I got Marian targeted. Let me do that again.
Marianne's dying from like a cyberspace.
So he got a 45, which is a regular success for him. So you both got a regular. No, you got a hard success. Okay, so you can smash him with the bottle. Roll 1d4. You can either click on the little triangle at the bottom of the chat bar to roll the 1d4, or do /R space 1d4. There we go.
Max damage.
Max damage. You smash it over his head, and he backs up. What the hell are you doing? What was that for?
Yeah, no one is a snitch. I don't like snitches.
All right, well, the whiskey's gone. I hope you're happy. I guess I had that coming. Look, I'm gonna go get cleaned up, okay? Don't wait for me. You guys start dinner. I'll be right back. And you hear him go into the kitchen, and he gets a basin of water, and then he says, "I gotta hit the John. I'll be right back." And he goes outside carrying the basin.
Yeah,
of water.
Julian's gonna follow him at this stage when he goes to the John,
Perfect.
like right behind him.
As you go outside, you see there's now a thick fog that has descended upon the house, the farmhouse. And once you get outside, it's almost impossible to see. It's so thick. And give me a listen roll, Julian, as you go outside. You hear a buzzing sound, and it's coming from the roof of the house.
I look up to the roof of the house. What do I see?
Silhouetted against the night sky, you see this thing, and it looks kind of, as I described to the other group, vaguely humanoid, but this is down, I would say on all fours, but it's on all six. It's got insect-like legs, a chitinous exoskeleton, ridges and spurs on the back, huge fibrous wings descending from its back, and its head is a round mass of pulpy tissue with small small elements coming off, almost like a king crab, how it has the little pokey bits coming out of the shell. This thing almost looks like a huge king crab crossed with some sort of insect, and it's on the roof, and it's scurrying along. In one of its foreclaws, it's holding this strange purple black rod. And as you see that, give me a sanity roll. Nice. You lose 0.
I'm going to chuck the bottle I have, a throw at it. Make a throw check.
Nice. Give me a throw roll. Do you want to spend luck on that? It cost you 15 luck to pass. You can't push a combat roll, but you can spend luck. You see the bottle spinning through the air, and then it lands with a crash. Roll 1d4 to see the damage on that. Nice. You're deadly with a bottle. Let's see if they have armor. They do not. Okay, perfect. Deals 3 points of damage. It hits this thing, and the bottle shatters, and you can see the liquid contents dripping off the side. And its face turns to you, and there's a loud droning buzz. And then you can see in the thick clouds of mist, you can detect motion. There's other things in the mist, and you can hear an even deeper pitched buzz, and it sounds like the buzz of large flying insects, and then the clop as they land on the roof of the house, and then one in the yard. And you turn and you see Robert Blaine. He's looking at the one in the yard, and he says, back in the house now, and he begins to head towards the house. Do you follow?
I asked him what's going on.
He says, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what these things are, but back in the house. Shut the doors, bar the windows. And he runs to the front door.
Julian's gonna try and lead them towards the fuel dump.
Okay.
Can I try to do that?
Yeah. So you run out towards the fuel dump?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Let's skip that, or let's pause that for a second. Let's go back in the house. So in the house we have Arthur and William, Terrence, Harry, and Jason. And you can give me a listen roll, Arthur.
Okay.
You hear the sound of something heavy landing on the roof, and you hear the shattering of glass coming from upstairs.
Is there like a weapon inside the house? Like,
give me a spot hidden roll. So you know that there was a small hatchet in here for cutting firewood. There were several steak knives in a butcher's block in the kitchen. You see the block, all the knives are gone, and the spot where the hatchet was, next to the fireplace, it's gone as well. It's almost like someone came in here and removed all of the weapons.
Okay, great. I'm gonna turn to Jason and I'll say, Jason, what do you think that was upstairs?
And for the first time since you've known him, he looks terrified. And he says, I have no idea, but I don't like this. Something feels off. And Arthur, give me a psychology roll. Do you want to spend luck or push that?
I will push it.
No. Jason looks... He does. Normally he has kind of a weaselly sort of look to him. He looks scared. He looks very scared at this moment. And there's a back door to this house, or I guess it's a side door. You see the doorknob begin to turn on that side door. And you've never gone in or out that side door. As far as you know, it's always been locked, but that doorknob begins to turn.
I am going to rush over to the door and hold the handle and just barricade the door with my weight.
Give me a strength roll. You're struggling. You grab the handle, you're trying to hold it, and it's just getting wrenched out of your grip. Something far stronger than you is turning that handle. And you can see that there is a small latch to lock this door, and as far as you know, it's always been locked. No one's ever gone in or out of here, but it's unlocked at the moment. And you're trying to hold the door, but you can't get that latched, and the door begins to slide open. And you see the start of something coming around the edge of the door. And it's long and slender like the leg of an insect as it comes around near your hands. Give me a sanity roll. Nice. You lose 0. You maintain your faculties. William comes over and says, I got this, Arthur, and he slams into the door hard enough that it cracks the leg, and the piece of the leg falls off into the room and begins to quiver on the ground as this pulpy flesh inside is spasming, causing the leg to flex and extend. And William's got the door. He says, lock it, Arthur, quick, lock it. And you reach up and with trembling hands you slide the lock shut. Just then the front door bursts open and Robert Blaine comes in and says, there's something out there. We gotta find a way out of here. The car. And he pats his pockets. I've got the keys. Let's all go quietly out to the car. See if we can get out of here. Who's with me?
Yeah, I'll go with him.
Terrence steps forward. Yeah, let's get out of here. What's going on? He says, I don't know, but there's someone or something out there causing trouble. I just think we should get out of here.
Yeah, I also noticed someone took all the weapons out of the house.
Oh, I bet it was that policeman. He said he'd come back. Oh, no. Oh, what have we done?
Well, let's not stay here.
All right, let's go. Do we go 2 at a time? Do we go all at once? I don't know how to do this. I don't know what's going on. Arthur, you're the voice of reason, which is, you guys are screwed. What do you say?
Hey, give me the keys, Robert.
Okay, he hands you the keys and says, look, you and me and Jason, let's all go out now and we'll get the doors open, we'll get the car started. Everyone else here, count to 10, and then you come out after. That way, if there's trouble, at least some of us will get out of here. Arthur's got the keys. Arthur, if you fall, someone else is going to come get those keys.
Alright, let's go.
The front door springs open as Robert, Arthur, and Jason sprint out to the car. And you're met with that incredibly thick fog. And as you come outside, you can hear that cruel buzzing sound up on the roof and coming from every direction in the fog. And Arthur, you are first to the car with the keys. And you can hear Robert and Jason right behind you saying, "Get the car started, Arthur, quick, quick." And Robert says, "I'm going to go back for the others. Get the car started." And Robert runs back to the house to go get the others. Arthur,
Yeah.
you put the keys in with trembling hands, and Jason opens the other door and gets in, and you go to start the car and nothing happens.
Of course.
Give me a mechanical repair roll.
Oh. Yikes. Oh, I'm gonna
spend one
spend
luck?
1 point of luck, yeah.
You know that the electrical system is not functioning. You can't turn on any sort of lights, anything in here. There's no spark, and you think that maybe the battery has come unhooked. I'll get it, Arthur. I'll be right next to you. And Jason gets out of the car and goes around to the front of the vehicle. As this is happening, you hear shouts. It sounds like Terrence and William. And then you hear the thud as their bodies hit the ground.
Okay.
And then you hear Harry Higgins, his Irish, cry, "No, who'll do this? No!" And then he too hits the ground. Now, Julian, you can't see because of the fog. You ran in towards that sugar maple forest, but you can now hear the screams of your classmates as they hit the ground. Do you continue towards that fuel depot?
Oh, I thought I was leading the creature away.
There are
Is it not
several.
following?
It's not following you.
Oh, okay. What about the one that I chucked the bottle at? Is it following me?
Nope, that one went off the back of the roof and tried to get into the side door.
Oh, what? So none of them are following me. I'm like running towards it. I'm going to turn around, and they're like, "Oh, whatever's." Motherfucker. All right.
Yep, they did not take
Okay,
the bait.
I did not take the bait. Can I get the keys? I got the keys to the other car, right? Because I drove it
You
out
did.
to the yeah. So I'm gonna go to turn around and go towards the car that I have the keys to, and try to start that one.
As you get close, you can see Jason standing next to the other car, the one that Arthur is in. And you see this cloud of purple mist rolling over the hood of the car. And Arthur, from inside the car, through the windshield, the windscreen, you can see this cloud of mist. And Jason's waving his hands and coughing, and then he falls onto the hood of the car, and you can see foam and vomit coming out of his mouth. And then you hear that buzzing and clicking sound.
I am going to lock all the doors and close all the windows and just hide in the back of the car, just like huddled on the floor.
As you lay on the floor, just probably crying,
Yeah.
you hear the sound of a car starting next to you. It's the other car starting up. And you can still hear the buzzing sounds and the chittering sounds of insects all around you. But you hear a car start. Do you stay in this car, or do you try to make it to the other?
I'll try to go to the other car.
Alright, give me a dex roll.
Oh, that was close.
Do you spend the 3 luck, or do you push?
I'll just spend the luck.
Okay. As you slip out your door, you walk just the few steps to the other car, and as you do, you feel this rush of smoke or spore or something come past you, and you duck your head reflexively, and you can feel this chill on the back of your neck. Whatever it was that was aimed at you just narrowly missed. And you get into the car, and Julian is there, and he's got the car started. Julian,
Like,
that's a
oh my
drive-
God, it's Arthur! Arthur, what the heck?
Yeah, everyone else is like dead. What's going on?
Everyone else is dead?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then I'm gonna drive the car and go, if everyone else is dead, let's get the skedaddle out of here.
Yeah.
Give me a drive auto roll. Do you want to push that? It's really foggy. You can't really see where you're going. You're trying to back up. You think you know where the driveway's at. Yeah, you back into a tree, and you hear the crunch as the car hits the tree. Put the car into the correct gear and begin to drive out of there. The car stutters and staggers, and the last you look over, you can see from the light of the house with that open door, you can see things now moving in and out of the house. And you head down the road, you and Arthur, wondering if anyone else has survived. Now, let's end the session there. We are almost to the end of chapter 1. We're really close. We can either kind of fast forward over like the wrap up of this. In fact, let's do that. Let's not drag it out. You guys have like an extra half an hour. We could just kind of push through.
Yeah, okay.
Is that okay for everybody?
Yeah.
We'll go. It'll be kind of narrated as far as what happens. You drive towards town, maybe to alert the sheriff. The other party, Gerald, Marian, and Jebediah, you're heading down that road, and you see headlights in the distance. And as it gets closer, it is Deputy Cutter. It's the sheriff's deputy in his car. And he pulls up and says, "Hey, I was sent to look for you. Are you guys okay?" Jebediah, everybody okay?
No, Deputy, I'm glad to see you. We were hoping to find someone who might be able to help us. We were attacked by someone or something. It was hard to tell. I couldn't make out much of it, but we three got away. I need to go back and look for the other students, but I need help.
Well, let me get you back into town, and Sheriff and I will take care of this. But for now, I need to make sure that you guys are safe. I'm not going to take you back up the hill just yet, but if they're gone, they're gone, and hopefully they're still alive. But my priority is the living. So let me run you back into town real quick, and I'll get the sheriff. And he drives you back into town and takes you to the sheriff's office. The lights are off. When you get there, he turns the lights on and says, "Go ahead and have a seat over there. There's a bench next to the wall." And as the three of you go and sit, Deputy Cutter pulls out a gun.
Oh, great.
Says, "You are under arrest for being intoxicated. I think you found some of Blaine's whiskey, and I think it's time to lock you up for the night. This talk about attacks, monsters, all this stuff going on, a little too much. Please, just for your own safety, step into the cell and sleep it off. Everything will be better in the morning." Professor Jebediah,
No.
the other students are going to look to you for leadership. What do you do?
Well, Deputy, I understand your concern. This all does sound quite a little bit strange, but I never mentioned a monster. I don't know what it is that attacked us. It was dark, and I am an old man. It's hard to see in the dark, but I will stay here, but I do ask that you do go and look for the other students.
I will. I need to know that you're safe, and it would do the town a whole lot of good if they knew that the police here were doing their job. So I'm not forcing you. I'm just asking you. Will you please just step into the cell? I'm going to lock the door. You're not in trouble, but I have to book you for intoxication. We'll clear this up when we get back, and we'll say we were just being cautious.
Very well, I will trust you on this.
Gerald and Marian, do you go with him?
He's got a gun. Gerald's not arguing.
He has a gun, and it's pointed at you.
Yeah,
He says,
fine.
I'm sorry, ma'am, if you don't mind.
I do mind,
Well,
but I'm going.
I don't blame you, but thank you for making this a little easier for me. And then he shuts the door behind you, and you hear the click of the lock. He says, I'll be right back. Shortly after that, Julian and Arthur arrive with their car to find the sheriff, and Deputy Cutter meets you there, and he says, I've been waiting for you. I found some of the others. Did you run into the same trouble as they did? Some strange attack on your house?
I say, quickly call the doctor. There's injured people at the house.
Doctor's on his way.
need to go-
We got people here that need to be looked at. Please come in. We'll make sure that you're okay too. And then Sheriff and I are going to go and get the rest of you students.
Can I do a psychology or a spot hidden on him to see what his
yes.
conditions are?
Do a psychology. Ooh, you spend the 1 point of luck. He's scared. You can tell he's nervous. This is probably, he's just trying to think what's the safest way to make sure people are safe, and this is kind of what he's choosing. You don't sense there's any malice. There's nothing.
Okay, yeah, I'll follow him since I don't sense any danger.
You
Yet.
go into the jail, and there you see the professor, Gerald, and Marian in one of the cells. And he says, I put him in here just to sleep. Look, I can smell whiskey all over you, sir. And you did smash Robert with a bottle, and you've got some whiskey on your clothes. I can smell it on you. So I need you to go in there as well. I'll put you in with your fellows. I need you to go in there, sleep it off, and then in the morning, everything will be fine. We're going to go back to the farmhouse. We're going to go up to the dig site. We're going to get the other students. We'll be right back, but I need you to go into the cell, please.
As I do that, I'm gonna do a sleight of hand to get the cell keys so to get out.
You will need an extreme
Whenever.
success, but it's doable. You can push it.
No, I was there nearly.
That was close. You can spend 39 luck to make it an extreme success.
I'll just push it.
Okay. He
Not
sees you
happening.
reaching for the keys. He says, no. Look, let's not have any trouble. You're not in trouble now. Just sleep off whatever you've been drinking. And we got to make sure the town is safe. You know what happened last year. We can't have a repeat of that. Arthur, do you go into
Okay.
the cell?
Yeah, I'm going in the cell and I'm like curling up in the corner and I'm just crying.
Julian's gonna ask, before like the crying, to calm the crying Arthur down, and also show him the book of Hey, do you know the cipher to this book? That he stole off Jason.
So you did not learn the cipher, but you know that he does write in ciphers. He had the
Oh, he didn't. Sorry.
he didn't teach him the cipher, so he just taught him the spell based on that cipher. So he said, "Here, let me translate this," and so then he taught him from that, but he didn't teach you the cipher for that.
Could I still like try to figure it out based on like the words that I know
Yeah.
from the cipher?
So give me a what roll? Give me an intelligence roll, and you need a hard success. No, that's a success, but not a hard success. You can push it, or spend whatever, the 15 luck or something.
Yeah, there's not an option for me. To
Oh, you don't
push.
have enough. Oh, not an option to
Yeah.
push. Roll it again if you want to push it. Yeah, this must be listed as not a pushable skill, but I'll let you push.
Ooh.
Oh, you got
Whoa.
it. This, the notes that Jason has in here are notes about each and every one of you.
Oh, what?
And it talks about what you ate that day and your conversations with other people. And you get the sense that he was eavesdropping. Some of these conversations seem to be private in nature. He's got a whole lengthy series of conversation between Marian and Clarissa about Robert. There's information there about Arthur and Rufus. There's information about Gerald and his benefactor. There's information about Jebediah and some of his thoughts on religion. But it's very personal bits of information that he has.
So it's like a dossier of all,
Yes.
all of us.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Is there any like useful information after? Like, is there?
You'd need to study this a little bit longer. If you want to keep this with you and study it for like a couple of days, you'd probably be able to get more information out of it. But right now, just with a cursory look, it looks like that's what it is. It's private information. There's even in there information on like Marian's undergarments, like what color she wore that day, and like
Oh, wow.
how many bowel movements Arthur had in a certain day. Just very personal, like uncomfortable stuff in there.
Yeah. What kind of underwear she's wearing? Yeah, got it.
Yep. So very, very creepy stuff in there.
Oh yeah.
The sheriff and the deputy do not return that night. It's morning before they get back. Now, you will. Let's see, Arthur. You'll have all of your magic points back. Everyone can heal 1 hit point except for Julian. You can give me a Constitution roll.
Yeah.
Julian has that major wound.
And the daily refreshes, right?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah, so your daily sanity loss will also refresh. You can click that little arrow next to the daily.
Oh wow, I've got 0 out of 5 now.
Oh, geez.
Oh no.
And let me double check. I think you need an extreme success to heal the major wound, or you need to heal half of your hit points worth. So you will recover 1d3, which might be enough for your shoulder.
Can I spend? I just spend 19 luck.
Yeah,
right?
if you want to spend 19 luck, you'll be over that.
Yeah, I just spend 19 luck. Just
Perfect.
whatever.
So no longer major wound. I'm going to put your hit points back up. Between the doctor's help and the good night's rest, excellent. That next morning, Deputy Cutter comes into the jail, and he's accompanied by Robert Blaine. And he says, well, Professor and students, quite the story you told me last night. Sheriff Spencer contacted Professor Harold at the university last night, informed him about these drunk and disorderly students that we have here, and after all the trouble and issues raised by the students on the last field trip, he decided to drive through the night and take care of matters personally. The sheriff insists that you'll be sent home in disgrace, and Professor Harold agrees. What do you have to say for yourself? And he looks at Jebediah. You were warned.
Yes, is this what Mr. Blaine has told you?
Not just Mr. Blaine. Hang on. And William and Terrence come in, and they say, yeah, it's exactly as we said. They were drinking lots of alcohol. They were drinking a lot, and they made up all those stories. It's their fault. And it doesn't take a psychology roll to realize that they are not acting like themselves. They seem a little flat.
Mhm.
Terrence is not he's not acting conceited or condescending. William is not his usual jovial self. They both just seem kind of neutral, kind of vanilla.
Is Jason there also?
You don't see Jason.
Ugh, of course.
Professor Harold arrives shortly thereafter, and you are let out of the cells. He looks sternly at Jebediah and says, I'm going to drive you all to Brattleboro. I have train tickets to get you all back to Arkham. I will consider no other course of action. You have been a great disappointment to Miskatonic. I ask that any wild stories you might try to tell me will only make things worse for yourself. You have betrayed the trust of the university. There is a real threat of expulsion from the school if you do not return immediately. And you, Professor, well, your tenure at the school is now in doubt. I hope you're all proud of yourselves. And he drives you to Brattleboro. And no matter what questions you might ask, no matter what defense you might raise, he does not seem to care. He is beside himself with embarrassment and anger over another failed field trip at Cobb's Corners. After he drops you off at the train station, he says, I'm going to go back to Cobb's Corners and wrap up all these loose ends. I'm afraid we'll be most unwelcome there in future. And after a quiet wait at the train station, your train arrives and you head back to Arkham, disgraced, but alive.
So did we just leave Jason there? Because he wasn't there?
You haven't seen Jason, you haven't seen Harry, you haven't seen Clarissa, you haven't seen Lewis, you haven't seen Roderick. The only ones you've seen.
Julian is going to protest. He doesn't want to go back. He has a date with the with that Miss Bellwether, right?
Oh yeah, with the old lady.
Yes. So he's gonna go and say, hey, I still have some unfinished task at the. I'll come back later. I'm gonna go to Miss Bellwether's house.
You're not gonna get on the train and go to Arkham?
No, I'm gonna go. I'll go later. I'll go like one day later, maybe. I want to go to see Miss Bellwether.
Professor Harold will hear nothing of it. He says, you are not welcome in Cobb's Corners ever again. And in fact, you are most likely not going to be welcome at Arkham. You're going to have to fight to keep your standing as a student there. In fact, I worry that your scholarship provided by Federated Oil and Chemical may be at risk as well. You've put yourself in quite hot water, son. Are you sure you want to upset the apple cart by going against what a professor, a tenured professor of the university, is telling you to do?
I go over to Arthur. I'm like, Arthur, you got anything you can help me with on this? Perhaps a spell?
We can't leave yet. Like, we just left 4 people there. Like, we can't just leave them there.
Professor Harold says everyone has been accounted for.
Well, clearly not, because we're missing 4 people.
They'll be coming along as well. They're not in trouble like the rest of you are. They were not
Arthur,
implicated in
I
your
heard that the
drunkenness.
last spell that you got might help us. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Does Arthur risk it? Because if you fail, he'll know you're trying to do something. And you would be out of school.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the spell.
Okay, you need to make a hard power roll to cast the spell.
Nice.
You got it. So you can cast the spell. So on your... Now, you're going to have a bout of madness when you do this, because you still have underlying insanity. So, under your gear and cash, there's the Will of the Warlock. I think if you double-click it... Yes, it'll pull up a thing, and then it says cast. And let me... let's see. I'm not going to worry about dropping your magic, but you are going to lose a point of sanity. So let me drop that, and then you will have a bout of madness. Roll a 1d10. We're going to do the summary. Oh, okay. Now we'll do the real time because you're around other people. So there's 2 types of bout of madness. One is a summary, like if you're by yourself, and then like you wake up 10 hours later and you're naked in the middle of a park. The other one is real time when you're with people. We'll do the real time one. You're going to flee in panic. You're compelled to flee, traveling for 1d10 rounds. The spell goes off. What do you say to Professor Harold?
I'm going to say, like, you are responsible for these students as well, and we're not leaving until we find them.
That's what you say?
Yes.
So that's not really a command for him. You're more commanding yourself. You're giving him statements. So this needs to be a command.
Well, we need to go find the students then.
Okay, so now
Just let us stay. Let us stay is like a command, I think. For
make
example,
a
honestly.
power roll. I need to find the professor. This is an opposed roll. Professor Harold.
So is Harold making a power roll?
Yeah, so, well, it's between Arthur and Harold. Whoever gets the higher roll.
Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, I have confidence in Arthur. Okay, you got 3.
So the professor gets a 64.
Okay.
So they both fail. So we're going to roll again. Technically, you would go with the low roll, so the professor would have won, but I want to roll it again. We'll make it fun. There we go. Okay. Arthur, you bend him to your will. What was your command? To let you stay?
Yeah.
He looks and says, "You may stay until the next train, but don't leave the station."
Well, you have to let us leave the station.
You'll have to cast the spell again. And actually, you need to flee in panic. So, sorry.
Well, I'll run towards the town then.
Okay, you begin to run towards the town, and the professor turns to Jebediah and says, "This is your fault. You were responsible. You were in charge. Now look. Look what you've done."
Can I
hardly my
trample
fault.
him as I run?
No, you
Clearly,
can't trample him.
Clearly, this youth was troubled, and you stirred something up in him. Clearly, this is not my fault. And
No,
what's
it's the
what's his?
school's fault.
Yes. What's his first name? I assume I would know.
Roger.
Yes, Roger. You and I go back, and we were on our first dig together, and you know that I would never do anything as irresponsible as this.
Well, I thought I knew you, Professor, but, well, the evidence is incriminating. Go and get your boy. Get some discipline in these students. The next train will be along in 2 hours. When I get back here, I expect to see you gone and back in Arkham. And he will stomp out towards his car.
Julian is going to talk to Marian and be like, "Hey, Marian, I have some hints that Miss Bellwether can help us out. Maybe she seems to know the town, and then maybe you can come with."
Yeah, I have no idea who that is, but yeah.
Yeah, you never met Miss Bellwether.
She's up there.
Do you want to jeopardize your standing at the university? This could be expulsion.
Yes, I think at this point, especially after that guy was just a big jerk, she's kind of like, who needs this school?
Yeah, my standing, my scholarship is already in jeopardy. So, what more can they do to me, right?
So let me pull up the map here, and I'll show you where you're at. You're kind of far from town. So you're in Brattleboro, which is right here, and Cobb's Corners is back here, which is 30 miles, and you don't have a vehicle.
We don't have a vehicle. Like Harold didn't take us on a vehicle.
Oh, he dropped you off, and then he drove back to town.
And then he went away.
Oh, he is a one-way ticket.
Yep.
Is there any vehicle or anything we can see, like bikes or something? Like what?
I'm gonna say no. No bikes. People
Damn it.
typically would get dropped off here.
I mean, if anything, we need to go get Arthur.
Yeah, he's probably running.
Arthur's bolted.
I can see Arthur like running down the sidewalk and then tripping and falling and
Yeah.
holding his knee.
I don't think he's running very fast.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, better go get him.
yeah. In fact, let me see how long Arthur was running. And even if he's running for a long time, I don't think he runs far.
Yeah.
Honestly, same, Arthur. Same.
2 rounds, so like 12 seconds of running. You're winded. You know,
Yeah.
you've made it across the room.
Is there any other? Obviously, it's a drop-off time for the train. There must be other cars around. Can I flag one of them and maybe convince them to take me back to town on their way back?
If they're going, so Cobb's Corners pretty remote. It would be tough to get anyone that's going back to Cobb's Corners. You might be able to find a fare to Wilmington or Bennington, and then you'd have to probably hitchhike or walk. Although, if I'm being honest, this is how Chapter 1 should end, is you go back in disgrace to Arkham. So I don't want to dissuade you from doing what you want to do, but we're going off the rail to do so.
Oh, okay.
And I'm happy to run with it.
I feel like we can go back to Arkham and then get a car and then drive back.
It might be best if you don't show your face in Cobb's Corners right away.
True.
You're kind of public enemy number 1 right now, as far as the police go. It might be better to let it die down anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be going back to Cobb's Corners as part of the campaign, so you're not done there yet.
Okay.
Okay. Since we got 2 hours around the station, is there anything in the station that we can do? Like, can I survey the station?
Sure.
Like maybe.
Yeah, you see, there's a lot of this is kind of a busy station, all through Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, even into New York. This is a central hub for there, all through New England. Most of the people here are commuting for work. It's kind of a longer ride, but some of the larger towns like Middlebury, Rutland, Manchester, all through Vermont. Most folks can't afford cars; they would take the train. So a lot of this are people that are commuting, but you also see occasionally people with suitcases and people maybe going on a journey or traveling to visit loved ones and whatnot. You do see the security here at the rail yard. There, you see people eyeing you. Some of the few security guards. There's 2 or 3, but it seems like they've been told to keep an eye on you.
I'm gonna go over there and say hello, and be like, "Hey, how's things going?"
It's going
So
fine.
try
We've been told to keep
try
an
to
eye
chat them
on
up.
you.
Yeah.
You're those students been
Oh.
causing trouble up in Cobb's Corners. Is that right?
Oh, who's been telling these kind of stories? We're law-abiding citizens. We've been doing great stuff.
Yeah, I hear you're
Helping the
law-abiding.
chemical.
You know we're not allowed to have alcohol in this country, and from what I hear, you've been partying it up there in Cobb's Corners. Why, I heard you
Oh
got...
no, that was totally a mistake. It was the stuff that we've been, how petroleum, that sort of stuff smells kind of like alcohol maybe to some people. We've been digging stuff up for the, what's the the company? The Federal Oil and Chemicals. Try to help them source out some new oil fields. That's why you're getting that smell.
Give me a fast talk roll. Says,
Nope.
I ain't never drunk no gasoline. I can tell the difference between gasoline and liquor.
It's just some special stuff. And people being,
You children
these
nowadays...
prosqualium, whatever. It's just different to what you would to the petrol that you have in the cars.
That must be from that up from Canada. I ain't never heard of that here. Not in this town, anyway. Pasqualium. What sort of fuel is that?
The smell, the kind that smells like alcohol.
My brother, he used to have a problem with the drink, and he lied through his teeth all the time as well.
Yeah. Well, we're just university students. We don't lie.
Yeah. University students ain't never done nothing wrong now, have they? No. You ask me, all you do is look for reasons not to work.
I'm gonna show my hands. I probably got some stuff what do you call those when you dig? You have those hardened skin. Probably I have some of that from all my digging. Yeah, calluses and then and my injury. I'm like, yo, I totally did an honest day's work during my time on the field trip.
Like, son, I can smell the alcohol on you from here, and you realize you're wearing the same clothes that you had on last night. Are covered in alcohol. Whatever you
Like I
might
said,
try
this
to
is,
tell me,
from-
son, I'm afraid your smell betrays you.
Like I said, this is from Pasqualium. This is a special type of chemical that resource that we've been trying to find, which we found maybe a little bit in the Cobb's Corners.
Now, look, son, your professor told me I was to keep an eye on you, but I don't have to listen to your bullshit. He didn't say anything about that. Now, I suggest you take your Pasqualium, or whatever it is that you're drinking, and keep it to yourself. We don't do that here in Brattleboro. This is a clean county.
I think Marian
Yep.
just kind of appears and is like, "Let's just go."
All right then.
Can I go help up Arthur and see that he gets back to the station okay?
Yeah, you've just been sitting here
Yeah.
this whole time. He's panting.
Yes.
Offer just
Arthur, please, calm down. You only make it worse for yourself. But don't worry, this isn't the first time that I've been yelled at or chewed out. We'll be all right. Although you, young man, have some serious bootlicking to do if you want to get back to where you were. So come and sit with me at the station while we wait for the train.
Oh, geez, Professor, I'm sorry about that.
Let's go through some rewards for the end of chapter 1. So, there's a couple things that we can do. Let's see. Putting John Jeffrey out of his misery. So I'm going to type this in the chat, and you can roll these for yourself. So everyone will get 1d6 for putting John Jeffrey out of his misery. Everyone will get 1d3. So those will be sanity gains that you get.
Ooh.
Everyone has a new skill that I put on your character sheet before the session. It's the dream lore skill, because you encountered things from the dreamlands, and so you now have the dream lore skill. The zoogs, those little furry rat-like things, and the moon beast that you encountered, those were things from the dreamlands through that dream gate they entered in. And so you have gained that skill. And anytime your Cthulhu Mythos skill goes up by 2, your dream lore skill will go up by 1. And so you can also let me do the investigator mode, and perfect. You can do your development phase. You can improve your skills, and don't forget to roll for your luck improvements. Jebediah improved history. Gerald improved psychoanalysis. That's a good one. And science. And Jebediah did not get luck. Oh, you were at 14 luck and didn't. Oh no, you're at 50. You rolled a 50 in your. No? Oh, you didn't get luck. Julian had 1, 2, 3, 4 go up. Marian had luck. Did Arthur. Your listen went up for Arthur, so that's good. Let me take a quick look at your character sheets.
Did our Cthulhu Mythos go up automatically?
So when I added when you saw those creatures, it's going to go up by 1. So let me bump everyone's Cthulhu Mythos up by 1. So let me grab that. Oops.
Woohoo.
And I'll grab here on Arthur. And get yours bumped up. For Arthur. And next time we will be back at Miskatonic to start chapter 2 as we return, not triumphant, but ashamed and having to put the pieces back together. But the good news is our research is not at an end. We probably still have many questions, and we have the power of the Orn Library at Miskatonic to aid us, and so we can do some library use rolls, some studying up on the things that we may have seen or thought we saw, and proceed from there. Any questions about the session today? What happened? Any confusion? Everybody know kind of what we're doing, where we're at?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
So what's the 1d3 for?
So that is for when you killed that Zoog. So for putting John Jeffrey out of his misery, you gained 1d6 sanity points. For defeating a mythos creature, the Zoog is 1d3 sanity points. And so you'll get to improve or increase your sanity by that number of points. Let's see, I can take this. There's one other thing that we can do. It kind of happens in between sessions, but it is a chance to do some recovery. And it's in the where is it? The self-help is what it's called in the Keeper's Guide, and it's a means to spend time with one entry on your backstory, which could act as a form of psychological support. And so that's not like phobias, manias, scars, anything like that, or anything to do with the Cthulhu mythos. But like for the professor, your lighter is like your treasured possession, or a place that you like to go. You just can go into some detail about what you're doing to seek help or redemption. That should be thematically appropriate to your backstory. You then make a sanity roll, and you're encouraged to role play the scene. So we could do this in Discord, or the next time we get together. If we have a little downtime during the session, you can do this. But you make a sanity roll, and if you succeed, you gain 1d6 sanity points. If it's unsuccessful, you lose a point of sanity, and then I get to tinker with your backstory. The other nice thing is that in addition to the 1d6 sanity points gained, you will recover from indefinite insanity. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5 of us are now indefinitely insane. And so that is the advantage. This could be on the train ride home if it's a treasured possession. This could be, while you're at Miskatonic waiting for the axe to fall, as you find out, am I still enrolled here or still employed here? So that's something that you can think about that can help you get over the indefinite insanity. On all of your character sheets on the back under backstory, you should have room for significant people, meaningful locations, treasured possessions. If you don't have something there, feel free to put something there, and then that's what you can use. So if it's a meaningful location, you would go there and spend time there. If it's a treasured possession, you would go somewhere quiet and just sit with that possession and think about better times, and maybe get your grip on your sanity back in order. So something to consider for next time. Would probably be useful to not be indefinitely insane. So all right, let's leave it there, and I will see you all in a week. Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye.